Hello, welcome to High Rollers D&D, the D&D edition 5th edition campaign here on the Yogscast Twitch, also on High Rollers D&D Twitch as well. I am your Dungeon Master, Mark Sherlock Holmes. Everyone is dancing around me for some reason. I'm not quite sure why.
Nice music.
I'm going to point it out because then Sam can cut to it to show people.
We're just trying to distract you. Carry on.
You're not going to distract me. It's nothing. Welcome to High Rollers D&D.
Ain't joining on this.
Couple of things to read out before we get started. He's cut to you lot now. See?
How do you do the thing with the hand fingers?
How do you do the thing with the hand thing? There you
Weird
go.
willy thing.
Yeah.
We're a professional stream, I promise you. If you're watching us for the first time, we do actually play D&D and we try and do it professionally.
Sorry, Mark. Please continue.
I'd like to read out some messages from our great sponsors, please. They give us some money. Hey, thanks very much to our two sponsors. They're ever brilliant, D&D Beyond and Brilliant. D&D Beyond is the official digital tool for D&D 5th edition, featuring a full character builder, compendium, and digital books with more to come very soon. Dragon Heist is a brand new module, thanks Chris Trott. It's out on D&D Beyond right now, and you know what? You can actually get 25% off all digital purchases, including Dragon Heist, by using the code HIGHROLLING, all in caps, HIGHROLLING. You don't get the legendary bundle, but everything else is included. So if you want to pick up Dragon Heist and save yourself 25%, boom! High rolling.
Shakalaka.
Use that code.
Please do it.
Boom! Also, sponsoring us is Brilliant. Boom! Brilliant is your best resource for improving math and problem-solving skills. With tons of different courses to help develop your mental agility, it's a great aid for Dungeon Masters and D&D players alike, helping you to create and solve puzzles that expand your way of thinking. Kim, do you have a puzzle for us this week?
No. Yes? Yes.
That's the correct answer.
This week's puzzle is called Footraces. Are we all ready? A
Always.
military woman, dressed in full metal plate, approaches you, a mildly embarrassed look on her face. I'm Captain Toriel of the Moonwatch Knights. I see you've been watching my elite guard training. They've been conducting foot races. The winner gets extra rations for dinner, while the loser has to clean out the latrine. Ha! It installs spirit and vigor. She leans into you, lowering her voice. I don't suppose you could help me out, could you? I nodded off while those four did the last race, and I can't figure out who came in fourth. She points at four tired soldiers. Meet Corporals Axel, Boromir, Cuddy, and Drake. What I do know is this. There was one runner between Boromir and Cuddy. There were two runners between Cuddy and Drake. Boromir wasn't second. Based on the clues above, who placed fourth and thus has latrine duty? So, you got four runners called Axel, Boromir, Cuddy, and Drake, or A, B, C, and D. And the three facts that you know is there was one runner between Boromir and Cuddy, or B and C. There were two runners between Cuddy and Drake, C and D. And Boromir, B, wasn't second. So who placed fourth and has to clean out the poop?
And if people wanted a sneaky, quick solution to that, Kim, could they find that link in a chat or some such?
I don't know about the chat, but if you're watching this on YouTube...
If you're watching this on YouTube, there you go. There's a link to the specific course.
There is a link to brilliant.org right there.
And you can probably find it. Is it got a name, this course, Kim?
Footraces.
Footraces. So if you go and search for Footraces on Brilliant, you can get the solution and figure it out. And it will tell you step by step. It actually explains how it gets to the answer.
The point is to work it out, right?
Yeah, work it out. Tell you the answer later.
Right. With that, thanks Kim. That's from Brilliant. Go check that out. It's really cool service that you can check out and will help you with your problem-solving abilities. More announcements, merchandise. We've got a new Aerois t-shirt available over on store.yogscast.com.
I like how you glanced around to see if no one's wearing it.
Just quickly, I knew I wasn't. I'm wearing roleplay merch today.
They're all in the wash.
Let's not talk about that, no.
Because we wore them all last week. So
we wore them all last week. So there's a new Aerois t-shirt which is available on store.yogscast.com. But if you want to hold off, because next week we should have new Aerois metal dice. And are we getting the tote bags? I'm not sure if they're coming. I think we might also have tote bags, maybe.
Just hold off.
So if you want to hold off and order it in one go, that way you save on shipping, you can do that. If you just want the t-shirt, you can grab it now. It's available on store.yogscast.com. If you are in the US, it will be coming to the US store shortly. It's not on there now. Mike messed up a little bit. He did apologize for that. It will be going up there ASAP. So you can check that out. Brand new merch, store.yogscast.com. High rollers, loads of cool stuff on there. Pick it up. New Aerois dice set coming next week, along with maybe tote bags. And there's the shirt.
Beautiful.
It's all really cool. Next thing, Twitch Prime. If you have Amazon Prime, you get a free Twitch sub every month. If you feel like using it on either Yogscast or High Rollers Twitch channel, it is obviously appreciated. You get some cool emotes, and any subs to the High Rollers channel will go.
There's a High Rollers Twitch channel?
There's a High Rollers D&D Twitch channel, which you can go sub to. There's cool emotes. Spam the emotes in chat, everybody. Go check that out. If you sub to us, it does directly help us as well, which is really good. Thanks, guys. But it's Subtember. So if you gift someone a subscription, they can renew it for just $1. Fancy that.
Fancy that.
Fancy that. You can give somebody the gift of a High Rollers D&D Twitch subscription.
Well, someone in
what
the,
greater
Free
gift
emotes.
could there be?
None.
Free emotes.
Yeah, free emotes.
Free D&D.
That's
Free
it.
D&D.
The last thing to talk about is on Monday, we're doing a mini-series for Wizards of the Coast. It's called A Rogue's Gambit. Episodes 1 and 2, character creation, and episode 1, I should say, have gone out already over on our YouTube and the D&D channel as well. It's a Mission Impossible style adventure, which is very weird and very crazy thanks to this lot. Last episode went a little bit off the rails, but it's all fun. It's all to celebrate the new module, Dragon Heist from Wizards of the Coast. We've also partnered with Idle Champions for it. And by playing Idle Champions, you can actually support us in the Rogue's Gambit campaign. I won't talk too much more about that because it is a separate thing being sponsored by different people. But you should check it out. It's on High Rollers D&D on Mondays at 6 p.m. or D&D, twitch.tv/D&D
Yeah, well,
at 6 p.m.
firstly, when you say episode 1 and 2, character creation and...
I did say that. I clarified
He did say
character
that.
creation in episode 1.
I was not listening.
You do not have inspiration anymore,
What a
son.
surprise. Right, that's it. The only other thing is there won't be an episode next week because myself and Trot are away, but hopefully the rest of the gang will do something fun
No.
while we're away. And with that, let's play the Aerois intro video. Sam, thanks very much!
Rock and roll.
Oh, great.
that camera.
I'm hoping that the mics had that. I'm hoping that the mics got, Tom, you can be a little honeybee. Ooh, you can be a little honeybee. Welcome back. It's High Rollers time. Let's do a quick recap of our previous episode, shall we? The party go back way in the past.
The party!
Yes?
Oh,
Carry on.
boy.
Do you have a problem with my enunciations?
No honey.
The party survived an airship crash long ago and befriended their fellow travelers and survivors, two Siaskan acolytes, a teenage girl, and a dwarven merchant, making their way across a dangerous part of the lowlands called the Bitterwood. The party previously had descended into a deep chasm that contained a few ruined remnants of a dwarven town called Dwalenden. Here, the party fought a feral guardian, which awoke strange thoughts and memories in Sentry, our guardian paladin member of the party. The party also gathered various treasures and then climbed back out of the chasm, exhausting themselves in the process. Traveling back to the small town of Rosehall in southern Savona, the party bartered with several members of the town for their recovered treasures and eventually sold a spear tip of a wild elf relic called Blackthorn to a grouchy gnome wizard called Navil for 1,500 gold pieces.
Worth it.
I also have some XP to award you for the last
I
couple of
wondered.
sessions.
What?
So,
How much?
in total, you have, amongst the group, it was 2,500, which means you get 500 XP each. So not enough to level up, but I need to remember to give you XP.
Bullshit.
Because I keep forgetting that we're on an XP system.
Manage
500.
levels.
500 each, yes. So you go manage
Bing.
levels, I think, and then add 500 XP.
I think
Manage
it
XP.
did it. Seems like it did.
Yeah, manage
Yep.
XP and
Yeah, did it.
add 500.
So 1540.
Add XP.
and you need
need-
2,700 or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
You need
Quite a ways.
1,700 to get up to level 4.
Nope. Oh,
1,700.
From where we are.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
know that without D&D Beyond.
Wait,
yeah.
hang on. How
no,
much have you got?
you need
You got
1,100.
No.
It should be
Yeah.
1,500 now.
I've got
you said.
1540.
1540.
Can't math good.
I
It's
know
Sunday
math
afternoon. I don't math good.
1060 away.
Cool. There you go. So,
1160 away.
I believe that we had left things. You had just purchased. You just sold Blackthorn's the tip of Blackthorn to Navil, this gnome wizard. You received a big bag of mixture of coins, gemstones, but you know it's equivalent to 1,500 gold.
We only had just the tip.
You did just have the tip. Yeah.
Just the tip.
Just
need the
black
shaft.
tip.
Just the tip.
You did indeed need the shaft.
We need the
to
shaft.
complete the relic.
We were bored of.
I believe you also asked for at least 100 gold of your 1,500 gold to be in in a 100 GP pearl for identify spells. I remember you requesting that.
Yeah.
So
I've got a
would
pearl, yeah.
somebody like to write down that
Yes,
you have
Tom.
100 GP pearl?
I think the DM's trying to tell us something. What is it, boy?
It might be that we had a brief discussion before the stream today about what items the party actually had.
Okay.
I
None
wrote
of them
it
had written it
down
down.
in my notebook.
Your memory
but
book.
nobody picked it up.
So you wouldn't really call that a pearl of power?
No.
Okay, I'm not
Just
adding
a
that.
pearl, dude.
Just write in the free text box 100 GP pearl.
Is he
It's not an
allowed to-
item.
Is he allowed to share that with me? Because I can do it.
Yeah, you can just pass it between
It's
the
not
two
like a
of you.
tune to him or
No.
anything.
It's
a component.
It's in the group stash.
We have it now.
We've got a group fund and a group stash.
Okay, but does somebody have the group stash written down?
It's on there. Well, I don't know.
I've got the
I've
one-
got 100 GP pearl. It's
I've
written
got-
down.
Perfect.
I've got 1,500
Okay,
gold.
so probably write down 1,400 gold, and then he's now got the 100 GP pearl.
Yispus.
See,
Oh, I thought that was
Daft.
it was
thrown in
part
for
of your
free.
payment. No, it was part of the payment.
Bastard.
No, that was 100% an agreed on deal.
I agreed on 1,500
Thank you, Rhiannon.
with the identify thrown in for free.
Yes, the identify was, but the pearls so that you can do your own identifying was part of the money.
My scholar's pack was free.
So, I believe it is
little bag of
mid-afternoon when you emerge from Navil's Quills and Quandaries. And you emerge back out into Rosehall, this bustling, little, quaint country town.
Was I ever inside there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you came in, but you were just
You were
being
being
quiet.
quiet because you did the thing to the cows.
Yes.
You've reminded him.
Flashbacks.
Yeah.
That dog
I didn't put that in the
Nan dog.
recap. It didn't really seem to warrant that much of a recap point, but yeah.
Yeah, you were
The
like,
title of the VOD.
It was, because, well, let's be honest, comedy pulls people in.
wasn't, what was the title? Something to do with steak.
Cattle rustlers.
Cat
What happened to
rustlers.
prime steak?
That was suggested to me way too late.
There we
I
go.
By that
suggested
point,
it first.
I'd already thrown in. I'd already put the title up. So I could change it now. I'll change it right now.
Too late.
Shall
Too
I?
late.
Lazy.
Okay.
So, you are stood outside. It is cold, as you are in the long night, this season of colder weather and extended darkness. Brisk, icy winds blow through the town. People have there's not much more farming work to do, so mainly people are tending to cattle or making sure that they've got supplies, making sure that their homes are well insulated and repaired.
Question.
Yes, Chris Trott.
Chris Trott to DM.
Yes,
In the Sky Islands,
yes. In the Sky
are there
Cities.
weather patterns?
It depends. So some of them, the weather is controlled by mages. High elf mages will control the weather patterns, so it's generally really sunny. But some sky cities have kind of like adjacent islands that got raised with them, which kind of might require rain and things like that, so they're kind of left to their own devices. Some of them are unprotected and so are just subject to the same weather conditions.
So there's no periodic rain in Gloomhaven or chill.
I mean, Gusthaven,
Gusthaven.
where you're from.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Gusthaven's
Gusthaven's one of the ones where Gusthaven is one of the sky cities where they control the weather more than anything.
So there's like a period of rain.
They generally
crops.
they'll schedule rain for what crops they have, yes, but generally it's not.
There's no chill winds or anything like that.
Yeah, not normally.
Good to
It's
know.
normally kept at a pleasant, normal temperature.
All of that is for this.
Okay.
It was mighty cold.
Yep. Cool.
Got some frosty nips.
All that lead up.
All that lore world building.
Lucius is fast.
Yeah, no, it would be quite cold for Lucius down here.
Would my wood like inside my armor start to like stiffen up
It's
a little
not that
bit?
cold.
Like,
It's not like it's not like snowing, freezing winds or anything like that. It's actually warmer here than it was in the Bitterwood.
Okay, cool.
That's a good
But
point,
it's still just cold. It's my way of saying it's winter.
Your wood could swell and also shrink.
Well, the wood is magical, so it's not necessarily as prone to some of those
Magic.
things. It will still burn. It will still
cure-all.
It can still be damaged. Yeah, magic. But generally, things like if you go swimming,
Yeah.
you don't rust. Your wood doesn't swell up or anything like that. It can be damaged, but normally by people physically attacking it.
Okay, cool.
But the same way that but you are still affected by cold and temperature the way that a humanoid would be.
Yeah.
You still find it uncomfortable. Like if you were to be like, I'm going to walk into a volcano area. Oh, it's quite warm. You're not a robot. You
Yeah.
can't just do everything that robots can. You are a living construct.
Yeah.
So you are still humanoid in many ways.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold up the parchments that I just bought and just take a real deep breath. Oh, I love the smell of fresh notepaper.
No one else noticing how cold it is. What is the point of this weather?
I've got some new nibs as well.
I
Yes.
suppose Quill, you're a bird.
I mean, it's not that cold.
We should talk to the mages in town. Make sure that they're not scheduling it wrong or something. One of them could be inept.
Oh, schedule the Sky City. Okay, no, fair enough.
I mean, there's no point. This will kill crops, this kind of weather. Unless they're hardier crops or some such.
I mean, in the lowlands, they just live with the seasons as they come.
What?
They live with the seasons as they come. This is what it is.
Yes, I live with the rain as it comes, but it's scheduled.
But
They clearly got the schedule wrong or something.
there's no schedules down here. This is it.
Ayla just rolls her eyes. Lucius,
Yes.
mages don't control the weather here. It's not a sky city. You
don't.
understand that there's a difference between where you lived and down here,
Yes.
right?
I'm aware.
There's no mages that control the weather here. It's
Why
just
not?
the weather.
They should.
They
This is
can't.
mighty cold.
Yes, there's a big difference between controlling the weather for an entire continent than a tiny city that flies through the air.
If you just got a couple of mages just for this single village,
Right. Cool.
I'm not asking for the entire continent. That would be absurd.
I'm just like in the background shaking my little bag of sand.
Okay.
Are we all content? We have a lot of gold.
We should go cure Arvo! Let's
Yes,
go!
I agree. Let's go.
Yes, should we just throw money at him and he gets fixed?
No, we have to take
That
it to
was a
the
little joke. Did anyone get it? Because you can't just throw gold at someone and hope that there needs to be... Never mind, let's go.
I thought he was serious.
I thought he was as
that
well.
was genuinely his
He didn't
thought
realise that
process.
seasons are natural.
He didn't even know what a cow was
I'm right
very
here.
recently.
Hello.
Sorry?
I'm right here.
Oh, I know. No, I know.
Oh, right. Okay. It seemed like you were talking as if I wasn't here. But I...
Well, let's go cure Arvo, please.
Absolutely.
We finally have the money, and more, actually. I think we've got quite a lot more than we actually needed.
So how's this going to work? Are we going to pay for Arvel's healing and then we split the money out?
No, group fund.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So we've got 1,400 group fund, right?
Yes.
Currently, yes. But you know that the ritual to repair Arvel's broken leg is about 400 gold.
Okay. And we need to go to... What was his name again? Paldoor.
Yes.
No, Torval.
Paldoor is the god.
Yeah, he was
Torval
the-
is-
Sunbringer
of
Black
Paldoor.
Hammer.
So we need to go to Torval. Actually, what time is it now?
about mid-afternoon.
Mid-afternoon. Is it sunset?
No.
Because he gets a bit grumpy around sunset.
No.
Mid-afternoon.
It's
Well,
mid-afternoon.
I don't know. Just I'm just
I mean, the
thinking-
sunset. Well, the sun will set earlier because it is winter time. But yeah,
Birdman.
Just last time we saw him when the sun was setting, he was just really miserable. You know, like
maybe like 2 o'clock.
fair enough. That's all
You
right.
said 300 gold before.
Did I? Mm-hmm. It's 400 gold. Yeah,
Inflation.
that's inflation.
It's called meta tax.
Unbelievable. Look at that little DM face.
Could be that Nova's memory is ever so slightly wrong, but she remembers things wrong.
Well, let's go to Torvald.
Mark's been doing some tweaking on how much things should cost.
It's fine.
You'll be happy to know, Kim, that I did not write it down, so it might just be Nova's memory.
I'll go back to the episode and watch.
It probably is. I probably did say 300 to start with. However, there's a slight tweak in
Yeah,
ritual costing.
Okay,
that's fine.
cool.
Fine. Just gonna write.
Lead the way, Birdie.
This
Off you go. Perfect.
Yeah, where you going, Birdie?
Shouldn't
where
we
you
get
going,
Arvo
Quill?
first?
Speaking out loud about we should go to Torvald.
Well, that was the entire thing. We've got the money. We go cure Arvo. We need to go see Torvald.
Exactly.
Don't we
you
need to
know
take
exactly what's
Arvo
going
to
on.
Torvald?
Oh, I don't know.
Because I presume that he needs to do it in his temple.
Oh no, he just asked for money.
But he needs to do the ritual in his temple.
Well, I assume the money will also cover the transportation cost of Arvo.
It wouldn't take much for Sentry to just pick up
No, I
Arvo.
can take Arvo, it's fine.
By all means, you can.
Fantastic.
Let's go to.
Where are you going?
We need to go
Brazen
to the
Heart.
Brazen Heart Tavern.
Is that where you're going?
Let's go to the Brazen
Sure
Heart.
is there, I'm sure.
So you make your way through. The town isn't very big, so despite all the jokes, it's not hard to find your way back to the
We're
Brazen
right
Heart.
next to the two places.
Well, no, the Brazen Heart is at one end of the town, and the Temple of Paldoor is at the Temple of Paldoor. You remember being on a slight hill near the forest, near the
Yeah.
Iron Weald,
Yeah.
which is quite far away. But you make your way to the Brazen Heart. You see the lovely stone, foundation cottage with a thatched roof, the beautiful painted doors, the little flower boxes around the outside.
Yeah.
There is a small barn outside around the back. Big sort of like wooden structure with hay and all sorts of things being kept in there, supplies, sacks of grain, that sort of thing. And yeah, are you going inside the Brazen Heart or?
Oh no,
They were
Arvo,
around the back.
Arvo was in the.
So you go round the back into
Yeah.
the back area. Yeah.
Really, some when we last saw. it.
So you make your way back there, and yeah, sure enough, you see kind of stretched out on what looks to be like a couple of planks of wood with sacks of grain kind of laid onto them to be like a very rough-looking bed, is a very bored, miserable-looking Arvo. He's just, he's got his crossbow, Evangeline, just next to him, and his beard is starting to look quite messy and untangled. He's dirty, quite sweaty, and he just looks miserable. Like
I'm
a
gonna,
splint on his leg. He's just kind of like looking down. He doesn't even notice you guys approach initially.
I'm gonna hop over to him and be like, Arvo!
Ah! He's just kind of like suddenly surprised by this enthusiasm. He's like, well, I was trying to remember his voice. He wasn't Scottish. Well, look at that. Look, y'all. What are y'all doing
Great news! We can fix your leg!
here? Like, sorry, you raised the money to. Now I can't be asking y'all to pay for that. That's a lot of gold for an
Oh
old
well,
dwarf
we
like-
did it.
we went down to Dwellin Den, that place that we saw on the way down here, and
The old
managed to find-
chasm.
Oh yeah, we found quite a lot of stuff down there actually.
It was
Found this.
awful. Yes.
Oh, I have no idea what that is, but I'm sure it's very valuable and very, very cool.
It's a good time.
Excellent. Oh, well, I mean, I would be... And he kind of like takes his little hat off into his hands and he kind of wrings his hands a little bit. Well, if y'all are willing to pay for the ritual on me, that would be mighty kind of y'all. And, well, I'll make sure that you get paid, well, more than what you spend. When we get to Gold Throne, I'll make sure I'll pay you back plus more, for certain.
We can talk about that later, you old grump. Let's go!
It's the least I can do, and we'll make sure that anytime in Gold Throne, you'll be guests of my estate, and most certainly I'll make sure that this is repaid in full.
Well,
Diplomacy. Daddy would be so proud.
Well,
Establishing trade and
I'm assuming we need to go up to the temple then.
oh yes. Where's everyone else?
Yusuf and Corin have been taking work, trying to raise themselves a little bit of coin to buy supplies for them to take the next step in their journey, I suppose. The young girl, Vala, she's supposed to be working too, but I've caught her sneaking off quite a few times.
Right.
I've got no intention to spoil the girl's fun, so I've just been letting her sneak off. I think she's taken to exploring the town and the forest.
What is their next step of the journey?
I believe that they want to still head to where they were heading originally, Horizon and Gusthaven and the Starfall Archipelago. So they'll need to head on up to Gold Throne and then catch a ship from there.
Well, I mean, we raised quite a lot of money. How much would it actually cost to get to Gold Throne?
I mean, if you're talking about hiring horses or a wagon, I mean, generally the pricing varies. I mean, it depends. I mean, you can loan horses for about 25 gold each for a trip up to Gold Throne, but you do have to ensure that they arrive in a good condition. Buying horses is much more expensive. Wagons normally around the same sort of cost. 15, perhaps about 50 gold for a rental on a wagon.
Trivial sum, considering our recent...
But it will take, it takes about 7 days from here to Gold Throne of travel via horse and wagon.
I've never ridden a horsey.
Well, that sounds like y'all should go in a wagon then.
Why?
Horse riding is not for the inexperienced,
It
my
looks so
friend.
majestic and elegant.
Hurts your bum.
Does it?
It requires some skill, boy.
Oh, all the paintings I've ever seen just look so regal, you know?
Yep.
No, I agree. It looks very uncomfortable. I've never ridden a horse either, so I'll go with the wagon.
A bird riding a horse.
Exactly. That would be stupid.
Would it?
Well,
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be the strangest sight I think I've ever seen, but it would certainly be unusual.
true. I mean, I suppose we could also cover whatever cost they need.
Well, that,
They
again,
helped us a lot on their journey as well.
then your charity is something to be commended, my friend, because that is very generous of you. Yusuf and Karin seem, well, they had made plans to raise a little coin, working odd jobs. I believe Karin is helping at the local school, and Yusuf is using her healing skills and helping Rosalina with the tavern.
Nice. And what jobs was Vala actually meant to be doing?
She was meant to be helping in the tavern, cleaning, that sort of thing, but as far as I can tell, she's quick to her work, but then she sneaks off before she can be given any more to do.
Good.
I mean, that girl is, she's certainly curious. She's been asking, since y'all have been gone, 1,000,001 questions. I'm sure when you get back, she'll be very excited to hear about your tales into the chasm.
Well, they weren't very heroic, I don't think. It was a bit messy, really.
How so? You all made it back alive, I can see.
Yes, by the skin of our bones.
Well, unfortunately, that's the nature of the land down here. It's any of the old places in the world, that's sure to be full of danger, or they would have been picked clean long ago by treasure hunters or scavengers and things like that. That's why most people down here just try and earn an honest living, work the land, or take up a trade, merchant craft. Even being a merchant these days is dangerous. So many bandits and brigands on the roads just trying to, feed themselves, trying to take what they can earn. So, that's a dangerous place.
True, we did actually hear, there were 2 other jobs we could have done, which involved some missing wagons along the northern road as well. So I guess that's the route we'd be taking down to Gold Throne anyway.
We'll need to take the North Road, yeah. And yes, a town like this will rely on supplies from a bigger city. Most of its trade will come from sending goods back that way and receiving money coming back from the city. So
Could also mean our wagon is potentially a target.
that is very true. If we're heading out that way, we should be prepared for dangers of that nature.
Well, I'm wondering if we just go out ourselves, just the 5 of us, and clear the way, so to speak, before we send everyone there.
It sounds like if there's an opportunity for you to earn some gold, I mean, that's more gold will never hurt anybody's pocket.
Nope.
No.
Maybe that's the plan.
Well,
It gets heavy though, doesn't it?
Gold?
Coin, yes.
Well, you can just throw it in the bushes again.
Don't do
That's
that.
true.
Just if you want to throw it away, give me the gold. If any gold you don't want, I will gladly take off your hands, young man.
Thank you, Arvo.
My pleasure, boy. Yep. A fine young man like you could be quite the investor to a merchant such as I. We should talk more on the way to Gold Throne.
You sound just like my daddy. He makes that talk all the time at the cocktails.
When you say that, considering what Arvo has noted about the way you talk about your father, there is definitely a look that anybody who has like a decent insight, like 13 or above, would probably... Arvo doesn't know whether that's a compliment or whether that's incredibly uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, he's not sure if that's like some weird flirtation from Lucius, or whether that's, He's just not quite sure how. He's like, oh, well, that's mighty kind of y'all. Should we get going to the temple? I've been set down too long. I feel like giving this old leg a
Yes,
little
here, let
stretch.
me help you up.
Let's send you to it.
Help you.
You're stronger.
That's true, you're right.
Yes.
Plus, you're probably smelly.
I would indeed appreciate an opportunity for a bath and a change of clothes at some point. I mean, if I could trouble you for a few small coins, again, I'd be happy to pay you back when we reach the town.
I'm sure we can do that.
Enough gold for a bath in the tavern and some new fresh clothes from one of the stores here would be mighty kind of you.
See why not?
I imagine that the others would greatly appreciate that as well.
If you had a bath?
I mean, if they could also see such.
I think
I think Yusuf and Karin have been going down to the river to clean themselves, but it's not exactly the most pleasant of experiences.
Okay, so I guess then we...
So you-
10 I can lend.
Yeah, I mean,
You can do that. Yeah, it's up to you. So you guys are going to head up to the Temple of Paldoor.
Yes.
Okay, so you make your way across town, and along the way, you begin to notice that the town is very much watching you and whispering about you. Like you can see them pointing your way, talking. Quill, you pick up on it with your passive perception. You pick up on that this isn't suspicious. This is actually this is a lot of admiration. People are like, here, they're the ones that went to Dwellenden. No way, they're the ones that went to Dwellenden? They must have got so much treasure out of there if they came back alive, blah, blah, blah. There's lots of whisperings of this kind of nature. And eventually, as you're kind of making your way across town, a kind of very skinny, but still muscular, but looks like most of like the body fat has just been sort of like worked away and is kind of left a little bit scrawny, but whatever's left is quite lean muscle. An old farmer, wispy kind of hair sticking out from under a straw hat, wearing a very loose tunic and a pair of long trousers with holes in them, just kind of approaches. Excuse me, sirs and madam, can I just trouble you for a brief moment? Now,
Sure.
you'll forgive me, we don't know what to call y'all. You don't have no name or nothing, do you? Like a little mercenary band name or some such?
A name, a
sorry.
troop. Oh, that's a fantastic idea. Have you got any ideas?
A name for all of us?
Well, yes, a lot of mercenary groups, they go by names. We just figured that, well, we don't know what to call y'all. We've just been calling you the strangers for now. But we heard that you came back from Dwellenden and you convinced old Neville to part with some of his gold. Is that right?
Well, I mean, we sold something to him.
Oh, well, he's always been very careful with his gold, sir. And, well, I was just wondering, forgive me for asking, but, well, my family's house has been in need of repairs for a long time, and the harvest this year wasn't very kind to us. I'd be very grateful if you could just lend a few gold, some, 20 gold coins or something that would help us patch up the holes, buy supplies that we need. I understand I'm asking a lot, sir, and I don't deserve none of your coin or time, but, well, it sure would mean a lot if you could just help us out.
I have a request.
Yes,
For
sir?
this donation.
Of course.
Very important task of you and your troop.
Yes, you mean my family?
Yes, and your friends as well.
Oh, I see, all right.
Anybody interested in this group? Which I noticed quite a few eyes as we were walking through.
Well, you've suddenly got the town to talking, sir.
Maybe create a bulletin of some kind and ask for a consensus on a name.
And you'll give me 20 gold?
Yes.
Certainly can, sir. Will do. 100%. Make me a bulletin.
A bulletin.
One of them. Is that that's like a note on a piece of paper, yes?
Yes, you have a bulletin board in town, right?
We can make one.
Right?
We'll make one for you, sir.
Absolutely. What 20 gold it is.
Oh, what? You can see he holds out his hand in disbelief.
Just 20?
Any more? If you wish to give me some more, sir, that would be very generous.
I actually managed to get 20 out directly, so that must be a lucky charm right there.
Just holds it in his hands.
Oh, that's so much
Hurriedly
better.
puts it into his pouch.
This is weighing down my right hip, so...
He just offers his hand.
What is this?
A handshake, sir.
Oh, my. Oh, yes.
He just shakes your hand very vigorously. He's like, thank you so much, sir. Thank you all.
Lovely.
I mean, that's going to help me feed my family for the next few cycles. Thank you so much. We'll come up with a name, no doubt, for sure, sir.
Let us know.
Come up with some ideas.
Send word to the Brazen Tavern.
Will do. We'll send it right to Rosalina. You can be sure, sir. Thank you. Thank you once again.
How far are you from your house? Your house, whatever's left of it, anyway. How
What do you
far do
mean?
you have to travel with this gold that we just gave you?
Not far. It's just on the edge by the wall, sir.
Okay. Carry on.
Thank you. Thank you so kindly. And he runs off.
Isn't that lovely?
Like this little old man.
Just 20 gold and it just saved a life.
Yes,
And a
but-
family.
Well, true, but I mean, we only have, we don't have infinite amount of money, Lucius. This is something we talked to you about earlier, and also a lot of people just saw us do that, and a lot of people want gold.
Well, yes, we should probably give it to them.
No, we
We just invested 1,400.
well,
But that's some of it's for Arvo.
We need that to get home.
We give 400 to Arvo, right? And his 500, what was it?
He needs
So-
400 for his leg,
Yes.
and then another few bits and pieces to.
So say 600.
No.
For bits and pieces.
Lucius, do you remember a while ago I said to you that you shouldn't really be flashing your money around?
Oh, that's not mine. That was the group.
No, I have the group fund.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
Oh, that was mine
That
still.
was your own money that you just
keep getting
gave away
mixed
there.
up.
Yeah. But you need to, especially because we now have a lot of money, you need to not mention that so loud.
But he can repair his house now.
But
well,
then,
that's a very good thing you've done, sure, but
Yes, that's what we're about, right? The adventuring troop.
but
no, adventuring
security-wise,
That helps people, comes into town and saves the day. Huh.
also, are we mercenaries now?
No, that
I don't
sounds
feel very
barbaric.
mercenary.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
He
but-
called us mercenaries. Are we a group? Are we a troop? Are we a party? Or what are we?
We're a team.
Are we? Ayla.
I mean,
We're all trying to do
Oh,
the
we
same
know.
thing at least.
We've all got the
boring.
same goal right now.
Yeah, we're all trying to just get home.
If they don't come up
Vaguely.
with a good name, we should come up with one.
right. I mean,
Because then I could create a logo, I can make costumes for everybody.
a logo
With an
costume.
embroidered... Oh, in fact, I requested that. I need to speak to the person.
The person.
What
I
person?
requested costumes.
I
When?
think that's the other campaign.
That's the other campaign. Anyway,
Another time and place. Another man.
that was a dream.
That was
That was a
Aquamamba.
dream.
I had a
That was
fantasy dream.
Aquamamba.
You managed that.
I had a fantasy dream.
Wow.
About turtlenecks.
I was a tiny man.
Arvo can. Well, you know, if y'all are planning on traveling together for some time, and y'all fancy taking on more little jobs like descending into ruins or helping out towns or places you come across, having some sort of group name certainly wouldn't harm you. It's easier to kind of spread word of a group by name than that Aerois and the Ganassi and the High Elf from the, it's hard to just refer to you all individually if you're talking globally.
You're part of this gang too, Arvo.
Consider me more of a supporter of your group.
Okay, what would you call us then?
I don't know. I mean,
Siaska Squadron.
that's a. You're not all worshippers of Siaska, are you? I mean,
Wait, who isn't?
Me, I'm not.
But Siaska's...
Ayla raises her hand.
What?
I believe she exists, but I don't worship her.
But you should, she protects us.
I can see that. Well, I don't know if she.
Yeah, there's a strong word. Knowing that she protects us and worshipping is a strong word.
You should praise the fact that she's here. With her cradle.
I mean,
Stirring
I'm
us.
happy she is, but
Without her, there would be no high elves.
well,
And that would be awful, wouldn't it? And thus wild elves.
But not worshiping her doesn't do down anything that she's done. I fully believe she exists. She exists right now, and I point up at the sky. But
Think of the sacrifice.
yes,
She was murdered.
Let's put it this way: you can have a lot of respect for any of the gods. You don't have to worship them.
But we worship the day she returns, hopefully.
oh well. I mean,
Just awkward silence.
no, I admire what she did, but without Hesper, I wouldn't exist.
Yes, Hesper's great.
And
But
Atelicus,
Siaska.
Atelicus looks after, those of us who chose to walk a different path.
Yes, but Siaska created all of them.
But
Siaska's the All-Mother.
so we're
You're
not
not
going
wrong.
with Siaska Squad or whatever it was you said.
I mean, Arvo looks around like, you could play on the name something to do with the airship crash, maybe, something like that, or...
Nova and the Quasars.
What is a
What?
quasar?
Recommendation, don't use one of y'all's individual names. Come up with a group. Think on it. You don't have to decide right now. Just think.
What is that? Blazing Squad? No.
Blazing like
Blazing.
falling from the sky. It's
hang
not a bad name.
Oh no.
Blazing Squad.
We have SQLNA. SQLNA. I'll think of something. Hang on.
Squalm.
Squalor.
Not gaggy.
Now there's 5 of y'all. Nothing really works with that. Think on it. Anyway, let's keep on moving. I'm sure you might get quite a few more petitions on the way. And as you continue making your way to the temple, more and more of these villagers come up asking for gold. Lots of people, all from different circumstances, all with different reasons, asking for different amounts. A young woman comes up asking for 10 gold to help put her children to school and to give them, pay for their schooling and things like that. One comes up asking to help repair some of the parts of the city walls. One of the Harvest Guard asked for a donation to help towards the walls of the city, which is 25 gold. All coming up and asking for these different amounts. And how much of it are you willing to pay?
All of them, I'm like, but if we just give a little bit to this one, it's awful. They do need to repair
Do you
the
say
walls.
no, or are you going to set an amount that once you've paid it, you're like, that's enough, we've paid enough now? They all come up with the different
can
stories. The woman comes up with her kids who look like really simple. They're like, please, sir, we just want to learn to read.
We can use the gold that I have. That way it's not coming out of the group fund.
I'm torn. On the one hand, we should be kind and help these people. On the other hand, we shouldn't really mess with the natural order of things.
Thanks, neutral.
So these people have their own legitimate reasons for having money, but so do we. And we need the money as much as they do.
This could cause chaos as well. Where do we start? Where do we stop?
We've already started with the farmer and a
Yes.
couple of other people as well.
Yes.
I mean, we could just simply inspire them to do it out of the good of their hearts.
Huh?
Somebody just teach these kids how to read. They don't need gold for that, do they?
I've got it.
You're the bard. Inspire them.
Yes.
What?
You
I
could-
can't just say to some kids, hey, go read. You can do it.
You can make
Not
a
with
little...
that attitude, you can't.
Take a look.
So as you're kind of I'm assuming you kind of group huddle away from this growing throng of people who are coming and asking for money.
We trust Rosalina, do we not? Is she not switched on?
Rosalie, yes.
And she has her own establishment and business? Mm-hmm. How about we give her a sum of money that establishes some sort of charity?
Right.
And then they decide what is distributed to who needs it. And then they...
Well, that's actually not that bad an idea. The boy's got a point. Rosalina, from what I've seen and heard, she's a pretty big staple of the town. People love her and they go to her for help and things like that. I think she'd be pretty smart at using money in that way. Just depends on how much y'all want to give.
A platinum would do it.
A platinum. Okay, hang
Few
on.
platinum. I've got 10.
So we're basically
What?
artificially.
Wait, what?
Sorry?
He has 10 platinum.
Yeah, that's 100 gold.
It's not that much.
Yeah, it's not that much.
You've got 11. 14 of them even.
True. Carry on.
So we are essentially artificially making Rosalina the what? Leader of the
Not
town?
making. I would just ask her if she wants to do it.
Well, establishing a charity fund is different. Merrick would still be the sheriff, the mayor of the town, but you'd basically be given a hard-working citizen who's got a head on her shoulders, an amount of money to distribute whether she sees fit to help with community projects. it would cost y'all some money, but it would also do y'all a bunch of good for your reputation.
Maybe if we mention it as well to the sheriff, he could say to any mercenaries that come through that there is a charity to donate to if they want.
True. There is a lot of trade going through this place as well.
Yeah.
You can always make a purview of merchants to donate to such a charity. I mean, Rosehall's a fairly out-of-the-way town, so I imagine that, gold like this is hard to come by. The fact is, you're probably lucky that you met that wizard that you sold this stuff to make that money. Sounds like he's got a bit to spare.
Yes, not willing to share it so easily.
Well, for now, I really think we should get Arvo's leg fixed, so
I also agree with that statement.
How about I talk to the guys and tell them to just leave us be for now and we'll deal with them later?
Yeah, you're going to need to find something to say to them, otherwise they're going to keep rowing. They're going to keep hassling y'all.
Well, how many people need to go with Arvo to get his leg fixed? I can just pop along to Rosalina while you're doing that.
Well,
I'll catch you.
I kind of want to see how it happens.
Yes, I'm sure you do. You're very into that, aren't you?
Yeah.
Science.
Opportunity for learning.
Yes.
Excuse me, sirs, have you made a decision? From this growing crowd of people who are like waiting for their money in
is
like
my
a
problem.
line.
Do you
They've got like a
wanna
little
tell
line
them?
going, little tin
Or
cup.
do you think I should tell them?
No, I
you
gave
got
the
this?
20 gold. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you run along and fix Arvo.
No, but how are you going to tell them, like specifically them, address the crowd right
Yes,
now?
yes,
Tell them
yes.
what you're doing. Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to stay with Lucius.
Good.
On a
Yes,
few
good idea.
public speaking
Yeah.
courses.
Good.
Ada's like,
Good.
nah,
No.
Nah.
I'm going to go back to the tavern.
Okay.
I'm bored.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye then.
Ayla
Enjoy your
leaves.
bath.
All right. Goodbye then. So I guess Nova, Sentry, head off with Arvo.
Okay, and then you two are going to stick
And
around.
you're
Okay,
gonna
so what,
impress the crowd,
what are the
I'm
two of you
gonna
going to do?
stand here.
Yeah, what are you going to say?
Intervene when I need to.
I
So
slowly
Lucius-
turn away from Birdie to address the crowd.
Yeah, the others, the Sentry, Arvel, and Nova make their way off.
Rosehall.
Yes.
People of Rosehall!
Rosehall. Yes. Rosehall.
You don't need to clap. I don't. That's very kind of you, though.
Sorry.
We just want to address this current funding issue that you're all having.
Are you going to give us some money?
In a sense, yes.
Yay!
However, we don't have enough for everybody.
Boo! There's one guy, like, just boos.
You suck.
It's okay. We'll try and fix it.
Booers.
What we're going to do
I was saying.
Yes?
is establish a charity fund.
What's charity?
Well,
I mean, it's essentially what we've been doing this entire time. Anytime you've been asking us for money.
What's the Birdman saying? He's quiet.
speak up. Project.
It's essentially, I mean, we're going to put a sum of money into a pot that essentially anyone can just take out of as and when they need.
But, Jessup's gonna take out all the money because he's greedy. I'm not greedy, you son of a bitch. I'm gonna take what I need. You're the greedy.
It will be moderated and judged upon each individual.
Who's gonna be judging?
Rosalina,
Mama.
she is the town's heart, is she not? Everybody knows and loves her.
Give me a persuasion check.
Would you like to expand me, Bernie?
I mean, I've sort of been helping
bit late,
with
isn't
this.
it?
Like,
That can be the help action, which means that you have advantage.
What is the
Persuasion.
persuasion? 20.
You have advantage because Quill is helping you.
20.
20's the best one, yeah.
Yeah. So there is a moment where the crowd kind of murmurs amongst themselves, and eventually you can see that a few of the people there, mixture of older women and men, seem displeased with the idea. You can kind of hear them saying like, "But that halfling woman's not from around here. She can't." But then a younger woman, probably in around about her like early 30s, holding like two babes basically under each arm, kind of steps forward and turns around and is like, "Now y'all listen here. Rosalina's been here for this whole town the whole time. Now Jessa, didn't she help you when your wife was sick?" "I guess so." And, like, there's a lot of mumbling kind of things. She's like, this handsome, nice man is right. We should trust in Rosalina. If they think that she's the one that best hold on to this charity money, then that's what it is. And that should be the last of it. We should be kind that these people are giving us anything. and there's a kind of quiet, and then a like, yay, kind of cheer, and all the townsfolk eventually come up, and they offer to shake hands, and they kind of offer thank you.
I'm going to put Quill in front of me.
Oh, okay.
He's a really good handshaker.
Yes.
Oh, feathery fella!
Yes, just the one hand though, so
Pluck you
one
like
at a time.
spring chicken! But not really, not really.
Yeah, please don't. No, I would be.
Oh, and there's lots of like backslapping.
Oh, okay.
Quill is such a
right there.
people person.
Yes, I am. Love them all.
I will go to Rosalina immediately now that I've told the entire town that she's now got a charity.
Well, I suppose. I will go with him in that
Okay.
case.
And you guys make your way off. And yeah, the crowd disperses, and they seem content with what you've told them. Pleased that you're going to help this poor town with their menial and mundane problems. But yeah, they head off.
Cool.
Sentry, Nova, and Arvo, you make your way up the hill you can see this stretching forest of green. Even in the long night, it still maintains this green leafery and foliage that stretches out with various mounted, slight hills, mountains behind the forest stretching on far to the north. Creating this very picturesque scene. And atop this small hill is this stone tower-like being, tower-like structure with a golden statue of a man on fire at the very top of it, kind of looking out on the rest of the town. The door is closed. You can see it's a stone structure, very well constructed. You get your way up to the top. I'm guessing Sentry, you're kind of... Arvo probably wouldn't let you baby carry him, but he's kind of got like an arm around you, and he's kind of taking the pressure off his leg as he hobbles along with you. But yeah, the door is currently closed.
Can I push it gently to see if it opens?
It probably, I think it would. This time of day, it probably would just open. Okay. So it swings open, and inside you see mostly quite a dark room that has that musty, churchy kind of smell. There are wooden pews carved. At the very end, you can see an altar with a smaller version of the same statue of the man on fire. Great big tapestries, and at the back is a stained glass window, which kind of sends all of the light into the room itself, creating this the stained glass is all orange-red flames, so it casts the room in this dull orange glow as you move around. You can see that there are also 2 braziers with a light that is glowing like fire, like a flame, but it produces no heat. It just creates light that just dissipates throughout the thing. But you notice that the actual room itself is quite pleasantly warm. Although there's no fire, there's like an unnatural magical warmth throughout the whole temple. And as you step in, you hear some shuffling, and then emerging from a side room, this soot-bearded, stumbling grey dwarf with this smock, this very kind of basic vestment robe, with a torch, like an unlit torch with sculpted into flames kind of hanging from his belt, kind of stumbles in. Well now, y'all are the ones from before, correct? I remember y'all, people in town talking about y'all, the Guardian and Ergonacia and several others. How can I help you?
Sunbringer Blackhammer, we mentioned before our friend. We needed you to help fix his leg.
Yes, yes. You are the man, I see. Very well. And you've raised the collective funds required for the ritual?
Yep.
Excellent. Well, I would never deny anyone the blessings of the Sunbringer himself, nor his natural healing light. Please come forward. I'll set up come with me into this side chamber. I'll prepare a small bed for your friend. And he shuffles back into this side room. And you can hear him, rummaging around, pulling out what sounds like a table, and then blankets and pillows. And when you step inside, you can see that it's a very quiet, peaceful room. There is another kind of smaller stained glass window casting that same orange glow around the room, with another one of these ever-lit lanterns, or ever-lit torches with no heat, that just kind of flickers in the corner. And the table is kind of laid out in the middle of the room. There's another smaller altar with a prayer book on it, and Torval kind of gestures. Please, if you can help your friend, your name, sir? Arvo Davis, Sunbringer. A pleasure to meet one of the Fire Lord's faithful. He's like, pleasure. Always good to meet a fellow dwarf. Please help him up onto the table, and I can prepare. Do you have the gold ready?
Yes, sir.
That will be 400 gold pieces, please.
I'll give him the 400.
He counts it all out, and he's very methodical in his counting. Like, he stacks it, checks it, counts it. This all seems to be in order. It will take up the last remainings of my stock, but I will order some more from Gold Throne. He piles it away, and you can see he brings out a wooden chest, a locked, kind of iron-clasped chest, pours the gold into it, locks it with a key that he hangs on his neck, and then slots the chest back under the bed where Arvo is now laying down. He leaves the room for a moment, and Arvo kind of just is like, looks at both of you. I just want to say thank you again. You didn't have to do this. You could have just left me and the others long ago, and it's mightily appreciated. Thank you, friends.
It's not a problem.
We
You're
couldn't just leave
as
you behind.
Well, the thing is, Miss Nova, you absolutely could have. A lot of people would have done that here in the Lowlands. People tend to look out for themselves more than others. I've been guilty of that myself a few times, but it is appreciated. And then Torval re-enters, and you can see he has with him armfuls of scented, like, wax candles, incense, herbs, poultices, kind of little glass jars of some sort of ointments. And he also carries a kind of golden powder in like a small vial. He gestures, now do y'all wish to be present for this ceremony, this
If that's
ritual?
okay, I'd love to be here.
It will take me approximately 30 minutes to perform the ritual itself. It will invoke the Sun Lord himself. And he kind of raises an eye. I do not know if either of you are worshippers of Paldoor, but I'm assuming you will not take any objections to the holy scriptures that I will read.
Of course not, no.
no objection.
Very well, very well. Well, then let us do the Sun Lord's light. He begins laying everything out, and it's very methodical. He takes his time, and the ritual itself focuses on Torval reads out several holy scripture and passages. He speaks of the light, the Lord of the light, raining down warmth and blessings and good harvest upon the land. He speaks to Arvo, you, my son, are of the earth. You are of the mountain and of the land, as I am. As dwarves, we were placed upon this earth to protect this earth and this land, and the Lord of Light is what makes that possible for us. You are his servant, and in being in his service, he will heal your wounds as best as he can. He begins to apply the ointment to Arvel's leg, and you can see Arvel wincing, occasionally groaning in a little bit of pain, but Torval just gestures him, shh. It may hurt now, but let the healing flames purge out the darkness, the cruelty of the world that has inflicted this upon you, and fill it with the fire of devotion and passion. Let it fill you with the drive to continue your work. And then as he does, he sprinkles the golden powder over the leg, and you can see that as it falls, it disappears and vanishes, and the leg begins to glow with a flame-like white fire that encompasses Arvel's leg. Arvel sucks in like a moment of air, his eyes go wide, and Torval eventually throws his hands up, and from the stained glass window, although it's been quite a cloudy day, it is suddenly blasted as if the full sun, as in an uncloudy sunlight day, flies in and completely covers Arvel's body, and you can see the bone where before, even with the splintered, it was still set awkwardly. The leg was bruised and dark in places where it wasn't healing. Suddenly all of that begins to shift and fade. The wounds knit back together. You hear a strong kind of crunch as the bone itself is completely set and begins to repair. Torval just opens his hands, says, Lord of Light, bring your holy fire and heal this man. And then you watch as the leg just fades, the flame dissipates. And you realize that time has gone very, very quickly. Although it feels like you've only been watching for a few minutes, the reading of the scriptures, the whole process seems to have taken longer as you find yourselves a bit thirsty and hungry, almost as if time stood still for a moment. Arvo looks exhausted, but he kind of like opens his eyes. Torval lays like a hand on his head and is just like, my friend, I've done what I can. I suggest that you do not get yourself into such dangerous circumstances in the future. The Lord of Light's healing, It requires some resources, and I'm sure your friends here have paid a dear price to pay for this. I'll give you a moment. I'll just be outside if you need me. And he steps outside, and you can hear him shuffling around, organizing books, laying out little pamphlets on the pews. And yeah, Arvo looks up. I think that did it.
Can you stand up?
Give me a second, and he swings his legs down, and he puts all of the pressure on his arms. And you can see that Arvo's not strong, but he's still got dwarf-like build, and very stocky. He gently lowers himself down, puts his weight on his good leg, and then he slowly shifts the weight to his bad leg, back and forth, and he kind of stamps his leg down. It's like it's brand new. Oh, hot damn.
Hooray!
Amazing.
And I run and give
Yeah.
him a big hug.
He's because obviously you're taller than him. He kind of just pats you on the back. He's like, what? Wow. I mean, I've heard of these healing rituals for injuries and things, but the thing that they act so fast, I mean, it's no surprise that not everybody can afford them with the cost, but it's pretty impressive. The power of the gods still remains with us, even if the gods themselves don't seem to be around as much. Still.
It is fascinating, isn't it? That bit where the sun came through the window.
That was spectacular to watch. It was really good.
I feel like, well, obviously this Torval, he might be more powerful a priest than what I think people may let on. I wonder why he's here and not in the city. Normally powerful priests like that, they normally work within their church's operations, or they work in a large cathedral or abbey. Surprised that he's out here in the middle of nowhere. Seems an odd thing for such a powerful priest.
Seems to be the place for lost souls. I mean, look at Rosalina and that Naval guy.
Yeah.
It does seem to be the case. I guess people would just want to get away from...
City life.
Yeah, possibly.
I do have some questions for Sunbringer Blackhammer, though.
Sure, well, you go ask him that. I'm going to just make sure my leg's all right. I'm going to try pacing around a little bit.
Secret dancing.
Nope. But if you want, maybe later, maybe we have a celebratory drink at the Brazen Heart. Then you can see me dancing.
Awesome.
I do a mighty fine toe and step.
Okay. I only know waltzes, but
Dwarven line dancing is now canon in Aerois.
Cool.
Fantastic.
Toe and step.
Yeah, it's called the toe and step. Dwarven line
Brilliant.
dancing. Now grab your dwarf by the beard, spin them around, do-si-do. Yeah, so you guys can head out and ask Torvin any questions that you have.
a quick question, Sunbringer.
Yes, my dear.
What's the name of the ritual that you just performed?
It's more common name. Each faith will call it by a different name. The healing light of Paldoor is what my teacher called it, but most folks will simply refer to it as the healing injuries or injury healing ritual. Magic that can mend broken legs or internal injuries, that sort of thing.
It seems incredible.
It's more powerful than your normal healing spells that other folks may be used to.
And does it require the light of Paldoor as a component?
Paldoor is one of the gods who has healing as part of his domain. He heals the land. He blesses the land with fertility, that sort of thing. But other gods do also attribute healing in their notions. Sayana, not a goddess of my particular favor, but another one, also specializes in such matters. Siaska was known to give her acolytes the powers of healing as well. Siaska and Paldoor are very similar. He was a student of his mother. He learned the power of light and the power of healing from her. But he is more connected to the natural world as well than she was. She is the mother of stars. Paldoor was a guardian of the earth. He was a protector of the land.
I was wondering, do you think you'd be able to teach me this ritual?
It is possible, yes, if you are capable of learning such matters, but normally it is reserved only for those of a divine skill set.
Well, I have this thing, and I'm going to get out one of my books. It's it allows me to learn various spells and rituals from all domains, and I just like learning, so I was wondering, would you be able to write the spell down?
Please do not take this as an offense, young lady. This is a gift. This is a gift bestowed upon me by my lord, my god. If you are not a follower of Paldoor, I do not feel comfortable sharing his gifts with others.
Of course, I don't mean to cheapen it. I just wish to learn more. I have a curiosity, and I want to expand my horizons.
Then I think that should begin with discovering your faith by becoming a follower of a god. Just simply learning the magical abilities that we are provided. It is like, it's like learning to read, but asking for somebody just to teach you a single book or a single sentence. There is more to just knowing a spell than knowing how it can be cast. To me, it is about the faith that is bestowed and the faith that is required. I'm afraid, I'm sorry, I don't feel comfortable providing this knowledge. Perhaps you will find somebody else, or perhaps if you can prove to me that you are a servant of the Lord of Light, but I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry I offended you. I didn't mean to.
Not offended, but more... This is a gift bestowed to me because of my years of dedication, of my faith, of wanting to help others. I do not believe it should be something I simply give to someone who wants to learn it for curiosity's sake.
Well, if I could explain more, if there's one thing my adventures and my journeys have shown me, it's that this world is a dangerous place, and my friends, my family can get hurt, like Arvo. And I want to help them, and I want to heal them, and I feel that if I was able to do so with this spell, and you talk of faith, but what if it was a sort of faith in that I wish to give a part of myself to heal my friends, to heal those who mean something to me.
Give me a persuasion check.
Oy! 5.
He thinks for a minute. Let me think on it. It's not something I will agree to now, but I will consider your request. Your intentions seem good, but there is I need to think on this.
I understand, and please don't be offended.
Not offended at all, and please understand that I mean no offense either. It is a precaution, if nothing else. I will ask Paldoor for guidance on this. If Paldoor wishes me to share this knowledge with you, then so be it.
Thank you for at least considering it.
I will consider it. Thank you. And thank you for paying for the ritual. It will help me resupply on needed supplies for such a matter, in case anybody else befalls ill of such an injury.
I have a question.
Of course, Guardian. How can I help it would be my honor to help one of your kind.
No problem. So since I'm a very long way from home and a very long time away from home, it would seem. But since I've been awake and since I've been traveling, I've been having some very strange, I guess, visions is what you would call them. About a week ago, I had one where I was back in my home. I was back in Solvin, and then I was spoken to by a voice, and I was asked to quote. I was asked to quote some lines. I don't think I've ever said them before, but since being here, and seeing everything around me, I've been very drawn to it, and I've been meaning to ask you. Would you perhaps, is Paldoor somehow connected to this vision that I've been having?
What were these words that you spoke?
So I believe they were, defend the joy, shine bright, protect the pure in the name of the light. Night will fade in the glow of day, my axe and shield will never sway.
Well, he thinks for a minute. Make a quick roll for it. This place you speak of, Solvin, I've heard of it in legends, but it is not a place I'm familiar with. In terms of the words, that sounds like an oath or promise. There are stories of knights and heroes of the gods, but also of virtues, who upon swearing an idea or a promise, they are granted abilities that allow them to seek out those goals. They could be, for Paldoor, if you wanted them to be. By certainly, the Lord of Light is very much connected to many of those things that you promised. He is about bringing light to dark places in the world. He is about protecting those that are your family, your friends, about instilling the land with life. But it does not have to be Paldoor. I would not wish to sway somebody to the Lord of Light's ways when they seem conflicted as you are, my dear. It sounds to me that you have made an oath, a promise, to someone or something. That could be Paldoor. It could be something else. Perhaps this city that you claim to be from, but I'm afraid I'm not sure if I can offer you any more help than that.
No problem. It makes a lot of sense, actually. Thank you.
It's my pleasure, and if you ever require to discuss matters of faith, well, I'd be willing to help you out. Let me give you at least both a little something to take on your way. Whether you read it or not is up to you. And he goes back and he takes out two small, they're not leather bound, they're kind of like bound by string, but they're little prayer books, effectively, both of Paldoor. He says, these contain some of the basic teachings of the Lord of Light. He gives one to Sentry and he gives one to Nova.
Thank you.
Things to think about, if nothing else.
Thank you so much.
And one thing I will say, if you travel far from here, I have been to many places in my days of being a priest. You will uncover some who, they will say that they worship Paldoor. They will say that they represent the Lord of the Light and that they do his justice. Just remember that the Lord of Light is a kind and merciful God. He seeks to protect the land and its people, even those who have made mistakes. Anybody who claims otherwise, I do not believe that they truly represent my Lord. I just ask you to consider that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are you ready, Arvo? Yes, yeah. And he kind of stumbles out. He's like, I feel real good. Thank you, Sunbringer. I'll be on my way, and thank you again. My pleasure. And to you both, good travels. May the light shine on you. Just gives you a very sage nod.
I give him a sage wave of my hand.
Thank you.
Yes, and you guys can make your own way back out. Mm-hmm. So Quill and Lucius, you arrive back at the Brazen Heart.
Mm-hmm. Just think of the amazing names that we could come up with. All the town's going to come up with is a group aggregate.
Oh, I mean, have you had any ideas? Because I'm stumped. I've got nothing.
Something to do with crash? Crash course?
Crash course. That's awful, actually. Maybe.
I'm not very good at this.
No, I've got no
It's
idea.
a lot of pressure.
So as you're making your way, you're just about to arrive at the Brazen Heart. You're making your way through these kind of, dirty streets of loose stones, but it's kind of mixed in with mud and dirt and things like that. It's a very rural area. You see, kind of coming from the gate that you initially came in when you arrived in the city, you see Vala, who is basically kind of skipping along and just kind of sees you. And it's like, looks at you, it's like,
Vala.
you're back.
Yes.
Hey,
Aren't you meant to be working right now?
I finished my work, and technically, if they don't give me any more work to do, I'm not doing anything wrong.
True, but if you're not there, they can't give you any more.
Then that's their fault.
Okay, that's good thinking, actually.
Just grins.
Very good.
So, like, I heard that you went into, like, some chasm and you fought, like, loads of monsters.
Yes.
And you got, like, thousands of gold of treasure, right? Is that
Yes.
true?
1,000.
That's what everyone's saying in the village. I've been listening to, like, what they've been saying for the last couple of days.
Yes, no, we went down there flawlessly. No troubles at all.
Well, Quill fell horribly, actually. And he was
You
done.
fell the whole way down?
He was trying to climb a rope, weren't you? But he only had one arm.
How did you
Poor thing.
survive?
How did I survive indeed? The entire way. It was a big fall, but, you know, I'm half bird. I mean, say half bird, I'm all bird. With
He
one
kind of
wing.
floated.
So you kind of, like, flapped one arm and kind of floated down.
Sure.
He smashed into the ground
Sure.
quite horribly, actually.
Yeah?
I don't
I mean, it's
know
still
how
pretty impressive if you survived. So, like, what did you find down there? Did you fight something? What did you fight? What kind of treasure did you get?
Creatures, disgusting things.
Well, there was a lot of stuff down there. Nothing disgusting, of course, at all. No. All
Gross.
Really? How
Inhuman
gross.
creatures.
Really?
Yes.
What were they like?
Husks.
What did they look like?
Just like ghouls. Awful things.
Like, did they have, like, big teeth?
No, what would they look like, Birdie?
I mean, they were
They
very,
smell very bad.
very clean, definitely evil. Just
Why are you both saying two opposite things?
Oh, he's being protective, and I'm
not
telling
being-
you the truth.
no. What I just what you
Fellas, it's a harsh land. You need to know what the dangers are.
Cows.
They look like dwarves that have been dead for many, 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 many years. And they were mottled and stinky and horrible, and anytime they scratched you, they basically rendered you useless. It was pretty disgusting, actually. And also there was a guardian down there that was feral.
Another guardian?
Yep.
It
lost
was
his mind.
feral.
So what,
It
you
lost
had
its
to...
mind.
Wow, so it like attacked you?
Yes, and it was
it
made out
attacks.
of blacksmithing materials. It's like a giant anvil.
It's just enamored.
And there's like fire coming out of it
Yeah,
and
it
everything.
blew out flames.
Sentry beat it up, and it was amazing. And then we touched its echo, and then I saw a vision of what its life was
You
like
did?
before. Yes, I think it's because I'm magical.
Lucius, what? How does your magic work?
I don't know.
Do you just... But do you like... Did you learn magic? Or
Yes,
do you
yes.
just make it?
Well, I think it's innately in me. It's just I had a lot of courses to kind of develop it and hone my skills.
But like, how do you make it though? Like, do you just want it to work and then it works?
I kind of will it, but also there are certain gestures and vocabularies that you speak to invoke the correct spell and make sure it doesn't go.
So you're like me.
Well, I was going to say, while the others aren't around, you do have magic as well. You have some innate magic as well. Do you not know how to use it?
Well, no, I've been learning. That's one of the things that they, at the temple, they tried to teach me. Because when I was really little, I couldn't control it. Magic would just happen around me all the time.
You're a sorcerer too.
But I've been learning to control it more and more. They used to think I had something called wild magic, but Yusef doesn't think that's what it is.
No?
She thinks it's something different. It's not random what happens around me. It's always kind of the same things.
What happens?
Like a purple energy just kind of erupts out of me, like an explosion. I think you saw it like when I snuck into that tent.
Yes, we
you
did see that.
Blew up the shack, yes.
Yeah, and it
That's
happens
quite
when
potent.
I think when I touch things that are inherently magical, something happens. Like I feel like I get stronger, and the magic just kind of doesn't have anywhere to go, so it just erupts.
And do you absorb the magic from this thing?
No, I don't think so.
Actually, no, of course. You touched Tiangong and all the other, and your focuses as well, and you didn't absorb the magic from those, I imagine.
Just something seems to happen, but
Fascinating. You know who would love this?
Who?
Nova.
really?
Yes.
See, the thing is like, because I touched Nova's sword,
Yes.
and that made the magic. I'm like, is she gonna ask like too many questions, or?
Yes, you'll ask
She will
far
ask
too many questions.
a million questions, but I
It's
think
all
it
for a
would,
good cause.
it would help both of you to start talking about this thing. I mean, it does...
She knows a lot of things. And she
Okay.
may be able to hone that down so you're not blasting everything around you. Maybe you can control it.
Maybe
Yeah,
we could talk to her first.
I've gotten a little hand on it. Like I can definitely use it in some ways, but yeah, it's just I'm learning more and more. But I was interested because Yusuf, she prays to Siaska, and Siaska grants her magic.
Yes.
And we've met wizards before who have to learn spells. Like they memorize
They
the,
put it
the
in
gestures, and yeah, they put it in books. But
Yes.
yeah, for me, I always had this ability to just use it, right? And
Yes,
I don't know,
you're an innate sorcerer. From my knowledge, at
this
least.
is so cool.
Well, maybe you two need to speak to each other. Maybe...
Yeah, we should hang out more.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes,
So that way,
she
but
can come
can you-
from the wagon.
Wait, we're going on a wagon? Where are we going?
Well, we're going to Goldthrone, aren't we?
Well, eventually we're going to Gold Throne, but we might have some matters to attend to
Yes,
first.
we have an errand to run. A quest.
Have you got more adventures?
Yes.
So can I come?
Can she come?
Lucius,
Come on, Quill, how else am I going to learn to control my magic if I don't get a chance to use it?
Exactly.
out of interest, does Yusuf stifle your learning at all?
She doesn't like me doing anything that she thinks is dangerous. She's too protective. She's not even like my real mom or anything. She just is she's like a guardian. She's supposed to look after me, and she takes it too seriously. She doesn't let me try anything.
And who are...
Like I've never even been allowed to talk to other people before. Even the other acolytes at the temple, I wasn't allowed to talk to them.
No, that's very, very strict, isn't it?
What are the circumstances in which you came under Yusuf's guard?
Yeah.
She looks at you for a little bit. I guess you seem pretty trustworthy. Yusuf and the others told me not to tell anybody, but...
How about we go sit in the quiet corner of the place?
Oh, but Yusuf's gonna be in there.
Well,
Hey, I found a cool spot. Do you want to come with me? I know a cool place that we can go.
is it outside of the town?
It's technically not outside the town.
It's outside the town, isn't it?
It's on the wall.
On the wall.
Yeah, so that's technically still in the town.
I suppose. It's on
There's
the
this
very
old
edge.
watchtower that like the militia never use. And it's really cool. You can see like all around, you can see the lake and everything.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
Sure, why not? Let's head up there. I mean, they'll expect us to be back at the
I
inn.
need to do the Rosalina thing.
Oh, I mean, that obviously can wait, surely.
Okay.
Can it not?
Well, the whole town's asking for money. But, Vala, this is important, I can tell.
Yeah,
Let's go.
great. I'll show you. She like scoots off.
God, very nippy, isn't she?
Yeah, she's full of energy. She's like a teenager.
I'm wearing robes, dear.
Come on, come on, come on. She like
to tuck
calls
him
out
up.
to you.
Yeah,
she leads the way.
we'll chase after. I imagine it's not too much of a detour from like... Or is it? Is it a
No, it's
massive
literally at
detour?
the side. It's on the wall, basically around the town. It's not far at all. It's like 5-10 minutes from
Fair enough.
from the Brazen Heart. With that, we're gonna take a break.
And we'll go and teach Vala some stuff.
We're gonna take a break, and then we'll come back with some more. It sounds like it's gonna be quite an RP heavy episode. So
Tasty.
some more role playing when we get back. Enjoy the break.
Thank you very much.
Bye. See you in a bit.
Welcome back to High Rollers. Kim was just reading some of the interesting comments from chat there for a second.
I happened to glance and see Wild Trot uses anal. It's super effective.
Hatfield's audience, everybody.
Not bad.
Hatfield's audience.
Just bring the tone down, man.
Welcome back to High Rollers. We took a break as the party are just getting up to some good old RP in Rosehall at the moment. The party have raised the funds to heal their friend Arvo, the Dwarven merchant. His leg has now been healed by the cleric Torval Blackhammer. The party have also been accosted by various members of the town in search of gold. They're asking for donations to help with their families or paying to get through the winter and all this kind of stuff. And they have made the decision to open up a charity fund that would be looked after by the owner of the tavern called Rosalina, a halfling woman called Rosalina, to help with the town in the future. As we left it, Quill, Lucius, and the young teenager Vala had run off to talk about their adventures and such things. Meanwhile, Sentry, Nova, and Arvo are all heading back from the temple. Is there anywhere you want to go? Anything you want to do?
Let's head back to the tavern, no?
Okay.
Let me just check my equipment.
So you guys just head back to the tavern.
Yeah.
I suppose actually you Arvo would probably ask for some of that gold to buy his buy some new clothes.
Yeah.
And you would probably stop by the Dale Geld Provisions Company to buy some new clothing, just some tunics and things like that. He needs about, I think it would be about 5 gold for a new set of traveling
I'll
clothes.
give him that.
So if you can, one of you can mark off that.
I'll mark it off. Cool.
It doesn't take very long to just like, there's plenty of stock dwarven tunics for Arvo to buy, that you can do that.
Nice.
Quill and Lucius, Vala leads you to I'm trying to think here where it would be, so that'd be to the north, the northwest. Be the southeast corner of the town, a section of the wooden palisade wall near the river. And you can hear the white breeze, this large river that flows directly into the lake. It's not a particularly fast-flowing river at this point, it's quite gentle. But there is an old watchtower built from wood, just basically a little kind of platform with a roof that sits just above the palisade wall.
I think we saw this watchtower on the way in. I think it's the route we came in.
There's a couple of them stretched along the wall, just in case of wild elf attacks and things like that.
Yeah.
And there doesn't appear to be any militia or harvest guard there. Vala kind of climbs her way up and gestures you all to follow. The ladder is a little rickety and it is a bit cramped when you get up there, but you can see for miles the direction you originally came from, so looking back out towards the south, towards the Bitterwood, which you can see just in the distance. On the very edge of the horizon, you can see like a thin line of trees with mountains eclipsing behind them.
Wow. How far we've come.
Fascinating. See how beautiful the view is.
Oh, yeah, looking that way, it's beautiful. Yeah.
It must have been just like this when you were flying around up in the sky,
No,
seeing everything in just bird's eye view.
bird's eye view. No, it was much higher up, actually.
Yeah.
And also, I don't like to think about it too much, actually.
Oh,
so-
I'm sorry. I thought it was a cherished memory. not
Well,
like
but no, it must
reminder.
have been the view you had from the Sky City that you're not in.
no, mostly clouds actually.
Oh, well, I suppose that's true. It's above the clouds, isn't it, each Sky City? Is it above the clouds, each Sky City?
They pass through clouds.
Oh, okay.
I tend to not look over. I get a bit nauseated.
Well, I imagine you might fall off. And if you fall off,
You can't fall off.
can't fall off. No.
Well, you could. But there's some protection and whatnot.
I would know that.
most citizens of us, something that almost every Sky citizen carries is a small token, which will basically activate the Featherfall spell if they get too far to the
So
ground.
you can fall off, but
Yeah, but they have these but also they build things like fences to stop people
Well, yeah.
from falling off.
yeah.
People also generally don't just go and look over the side because they know that they're thousands and thousands of feet in the air. The people that are most at risk of falling off the Sky Cities are people that work in the Electrum harvesting business, because they have to basically climb down these chains and mine away the Ethereum crystals from these cages, and then they fill them up and they carry it back up.
Yeah.
Because just trying to move the cages is too dangerous. It can basically make all the Ethereum crack and fall apart. So they basically send halflings and humans that climb down these cages and like get hammer and chisel out while they're literally hanging by a piece of rope and like ting ting ting, and then they carry it all back up.
Them.
And they're the most dangerous. But the halflings love it. It's fine. It's not racist because halflings love it. They have a great time. So yeah, so Vala kind of sits down, and you can see that from a pack she kind of pulls out like a little water skin, and she like pulls out like a little snack bar.
Oh, we should
like
have
some
got
nuts.
snacks.
No, I mean, I have
It's like
some,
a little camp night.
I have some boring little rations.
I have some disgusting rations,
Okay.
which we took from the wild elves. Remember that?
Oh, yeah, no, they're probably long gone, actually.
I think so.
We bought new ones when we went out. We bought new ones.
Did I get one?
Yes, you did.
I may have not been there.
You were in a shop.
You wanted to know more about why I went to the temple, right?
Yes, well, I mean, you
Under
said
Ursa.
Yusuf is not your mother.
Yusuf.
Yeah. So
Yes.
yeah, she was appointed to me as a guardian from, I guess, like quite high up people in the Church of Siaska. I don't remember them much because I was really little, but I remember being brought there. It's weird. I don't have really any memories of before I was maybe 4 or 5.
Okay.
I just remember like dark and cold, and then I remember the first thing I remember is a bunch of people in robes, Siaskan robes, opening something and pulling me free, and then then they took me in. They looked after me. They fed me. They clothed me. They gave me my name. They told me my name was Vala, and they kept me in this temple. I think it was on one of the Sky Cities. I think it was there because I remember getting an airship and we went to various other cities. But then I joined, then I was put into, they call it the Abbey, and it's where they raise a lot of priests and priestesses. There's normally a bunch of orphans there that they take in, that they train to be priests, but yeah, I guess I was put in with all of them.
And were you treated any differently than the other orphans?
Yeah, kind of. I went to lessons with them, and where we learned things like history, learned to read and write, maths. And then I had special classes for my magic, which was one-on-one. There was it was a high elf actually, like Lucius. He was quite old though, and he taught me magic. I think he was a wizard. He had a book, but he could teach me a little bit about how to control the energy and, you know, the gestures and things you have to make.
Okay.
But I wasn't...
Semantics is the term.
That's the term. But
Drilled
I
into
wasn't...
us.
I wasn't allowed to really interact with the other students. They always were, like Yusuf, they were always so worried about me getting hurt or maybe hurting them, I don't know, but they didn't like me spending more time with them. And I know Yusuf doesn't like the idea, doesn't like me sneaking off, and she doesn't like me hanging out with you guys.
Right. Well, we'll keep it short then, just in case they get worried.
It's fine.
So,
She worries too much anyway. She's I don't know what she's so worried about. I mean, we got through the Bitterwood fine, right? Like that was scary. That was dangerous.
I mean, that was probably the closest she's ever been to losing you, though. The crash could have gone very differently.
Yeah.
Any one of us could have, well, not come out of that so well.
Yeah, those guys in the masks. I mean, if you guys hadn't been there, they probably would have killed us straight away.
Yes. It is interesting why they were there in the first place. Still haven't really got to the bottom of that, have we?
Well, Nova knows some about them.
I figured that they were just pirates, right? They were just trying to steal the ship.
They seem to have an agenda, though. They destroyed the ship.
They also were from, what was it Nova said, the Court of Shadows? Or
Court
something?
of Shadows, yes.
Yeah, we heard about them in history. They worked with Starbane, right? The guy that killed Siaska and tried to invade the world.
That's right. All myth and legend, though.
Yeah.
Well, apparently, or it used to be anyway. You said before, when you were younger, before you were 5, it was cold and darkness. Do you ever get these emotions or feelings back anytime you cast a spell?
No. It's weird, when I cast a spell, I feel really strong. I feel like there's more I could do. Like, my magic could be stronger, but I'm holding back.
Okay.
All right. Let's give it a go.
What?
Let's cast a spell.
Okay.
Just a gentle one.
Okay, like what?
Oh, okay. Well, let's start with the basics. So that everyone learns Dancing Lights when you're in the High Elven Society of Gusthaven.
Right?
And it's good because it has both vocab, somatic, and material components required. So that's all three.
That's like the little lights you make, right?
Yes, four.
Don't think I can do that one.
You cannot.
No. I didn't learn that one.
So you're not potentially not. It's fascinating. What do you know?
Well, I can kind of move stuff with magic, so I can create like a little hand that can move
mage
things.
hand.
Yes, yes.
Very quaint.
But
What does your hand look like?
I can also do this other thing, which they told me I shouldn't really do because it can hurt people, right?
Right. Most spells do.
Yeah. Hang on. And she kind of climbs down the ladder, looks around to see if anybody's around.
Are we looking
and then,
from
And
down?
then you're looking down on her, and she kind of closes her eyes for a minute. And when she opens them, you see her purple eyes like pulse, like with an energy, and 7 spectral swords kind of appear around her, spin, and then flash away.
Okay.
Wow, that was something.
Quite powerful.
It's very powerful.
Come back up to you.
And she climbs back up. Like a lot of my spells, a lot of the magic I seem to have, like seems to let me do stuff like that. Like I can conjure swords, or I can,
Does it
I can
exhaust
fire energy. Not really. That one's really easy. The other ones can be more tiring.
How many can you do until you feel like you need to rest?
Of that burst, I could do it until as much as I needed.
You have that as a cantrip?
I think that's what they call them. Yeah.
Yes, cantrip is when you can do them at will without any material component, and it's innate to you.
I think so. I can also, I've not really, the only time I've ever really used it is when I've been able to hold weapons and things, but I can also kind of make weapons get like a
You can
purple
enchant them?
flame.
You can enchant them.
Kind of, yeah. Like a purple flame that can then leap between different things. I think
Everything's-
Nova can do it.
Everything's purple with you.
Yeah, that seems to be my inherent color that all of my magic takes.
Can Lucius, because I've got an inkling, but can I do an intelligence or arcane check to know what this purple energy and that type of spell would be associated with a class?
Why don't you make a roll, tell me what you think it is, and then I'll tell you if you're
19.
certain.
Plus 2, 21.
Okay. What do you think it is?
I think it's a warlock.
Okay.
Shadow warlock?
Okay, so what you know of warlocks, that you've heard of the stories of these people that make pacts. So a warlock, is somebody that borrows their power from another source.
Yeah.
Looking at Vala, the way that she's described her powers, you're pretty sure that's not it. You don't think she's a warlock. You think she is a sorcerer like you. You think that whatever magic she has
Shadow-based?
is in her blood. This isn't like anything you've ever heard of. This isn't like any sorceress
books.
ability that you've ever heard of. It sounds like you're not quite sure what her bloodline is, but it's definitely related to her herself. This isn't a pact.
And you say that if we were to give you a magic item, you would source that power from that, and then what does that do?
I don't know.
Does it render it?
It's
inert?
not like I feel like when I grab Nova's sword, I could tell that there's something about that sword. I thought I heard a voice that seemed to cry out or scream or something when I picked it up. I think it just yelled no. And when it did, I panicked and I felt its energy go into me, and I just dropped it, and then that's when the explosion came out. And then when I picked it up again, it was fine.
Interesting. Maybe it seemed to repel you of some kind, or maybe
I don't know.
that's
The first time that's ever really happened. I've had it once before. The only other time that it's ever happened before is my old teacher, Master Talus. He had a wand. He wanted to test if I could use it, and when I touched it, I felt a similar thing. That didn't have a voice though. It just seemed to. It seemed like I drew some energy from it.
Have you ever held a potion of healing?
I've held one before. Yeah, we used to make them sometimes in the temple.
I assume you don't absorb the power.
No,
It has to be magical.
I think so.
Well, do you have anything that you need to focus on when you're casting these spells? Maybe Lucius, maybe one of your focus you could give to her to try
That's
out?
the thing is, I don't have anything like that.
Why didn't you just touch gem on my Fabrio? My gem hand.
Oh, nothing.
You can't sense its resonant power?
I mean, it doesn't. I can't sense a resonance power. I can tell that it's a focus. It's something that you use to channel your power, but I don't sense any power in it. Not like Nova's sword. Nova's sword. There's something in it. There's like a presence.
Well, Nova did say it's been speaking to her, which
Yes, it does line up, doesn't it?
yeah, well, that was definitely a concern of mine.
Sounds
but,
like an alien power.
yeah, well,
It sounds really weird, but it felt old. It felt really old. Like whatever was in there was way older than me, way older than anything I know.
well, Nova described it as several hundred different voices, sometimes hers, sometimes many different voices, sometimes just a different voice entirely, so it's weird that you're able to hone in on just one of those.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, saying that, I was able to touch the matrix of Sentry and the old, not Sentry's matrix, sorry. That involved me going inside Sentry, which
I don't think I
tearing
should
her
be
apart.
hearing about this stuff.
You tear open the chest and then you have to get inside the anyway. We got inside the blacksmithing matrix.
Right.
That old one, and I was able, I think thanks to my magical abilities, sense its visions in its past, and it was a cacophony of sound, and it was awful.
Maybe it's just the way that we have magic as part of us rather
Yes.
than something external.
I don't think it's anything wrong with you,
That's good, at least.
but I just think we need to maybe define it a little more. But speak to
And by
Nova.
defining it, you mean letting me
Experimenting.
coming on adventures and testing my magic, right? Lucius?
I look.
Like Quill? She looks at you and you can see that like she's got quite a bright face. You've only ever really seen Vala looking quite quiet, but when she's kind of talking about coming on adventures, you can see her little eyes light up.
We can speak
She
to
looks up
Yusuf,
at you.
right?
I mean,
Field trip.
we could speak to Yusuf, but we know what she's going to say.
That's why you shouldn't speak to you.
No, we have to be responsible adults here. And at least say where you're going so
She's
she's not worried sick.
She won't let me go.
I'll speak to her. You'll speak to her. won't you?
But you said she doesn't stifle your learning, at least in terms of your magic.
No. Well,
Lucius.
nothing. She doesn't. It's by stifle. I mean, one of my spells is I conjure magic swords, Quill. She's not really keen on me practicing that one.
Well, what if it was simply just an observational learning? I mean, Lucius clearly is similar enough, at least, to your magic power. Nova, you've got some sort of connection
I'm
there.
not here.
And she's not there.
I know, but Nova, and I point off to the village.
Yeah. I mean, if you can convince her, sure. I just think that's going to be pretty hard. She's really protective. But I mean, I'd love it if I could come. Just, I feel so trapped, constantly being just mothered and looked after. I just want to figure my own thing out, you know? I want to figure out what I'm meant to do. I'm not a priest of Siaska. I'm not gonna be. Sure, I respect her, I worship her, but I don't want to be like Sister Yusuf. I want to find ancient places like you. There's something in the world calling to me, and I just want to find it.
How old are you?
I'm 15.
And 15 is a maturity age for humans?
Just so you know, in Aerois, elves don't mature as the same, like, ancient, like, it's not typical D&D elves where they're like 500 years old. Elves are generally just a bit more long-lived, so they live to about 150. So, yeah, you would know.
Roughly the same.
Yeah, it's not far off.
Well, she's old enough, isn't she?
I mean, she
To
is.
speak for herself. Make her own decisions.
She is 13 years older than me.
What?
Yeah, well, I'm
Immature
no, not
state.
13, 11. 11 years older than me. I mean, Aarakocra, that's just how it be.
So you're a baby.
No.
You're a big bird baby.
No, Vala. no, I'm an Aarakocra. We advance
It's okay,
very
baby.
quick.
It's okay, baby.
No.
She like pats your
Baby
face.
bird.
Okay, little baby bird.
It's adorable.
Vala,
She's just laughing.
you're relying on me to convince her.
Yeah, okay.
But then again, maybe I'm a good example.
Promise I won't tell anybody else about the baby bird thing.
It's open knowledge. I'm an Aarakocra. I'm not ashamed of this.
Baby bird.
Okay, I am ashamed of that. Cut that out.
Let's go back. Thanks for talking to me about this, guys. Just, I've not really had anybody to talk to before, so...
We can try to talk to Yusuf, but maybe it's best that you talk to her yourself.
Okay.
Have you tried that?
No, I will.
I tell you what, Vala. Once I get a message up to Daddy, I'll take you on an airship. You can come visit Gusthaven.
Yeah, that sounds great.
There's plenty of books and libraries and sorcerers and whatnot.
Sounds amazing.
Very old elves that will know probably what you have.
Sounds amazing, yeah.
If we don't find out beforehand.
Yeah,
Excellent.
okay. Great.
Very good.
After you.
Climbs back down. And yeah, you make your way back over to the Brazen Heart. When you arrive, it's probably enough time that Sentry, Nova, and Arvo have all made their way back as well. Arvo wearing new clothes, comes back in walking with his leg. When you enter, you see Rosalina is behind a bar. There's a few patrons in there. It's probably around like 5, 6 o'clock. And there's a few patrons just getting dinner. You can see that Rosalina, Yusuf, and the half-elf girl are all serving dinner, basically, like going around serving out plates. When you enter, Rosalina just looks up. My friends, welcome back. So glad to see you again. We've had fear for a little while that you had obviously been killed on your adventures, but I'm pleased to see you back.
Nope, unscathed. Well, scathed, but pretty good.
And I see you found my little errant worker for the day.
Yes, we found her and we ushered her back to do some more cleaning. I think she might have been avoiding it somewhat.
Vala just like shoves you. Thanks, baby bird.
Vala!
Rosalina looks at her, it's just like, yes, I have plenty of jobs saved up for you from the day that you were not here. You can start by cleaning the rooms upstairs, Vala.
Well, Rosalina, it's very late.
Yes?
It's very late, and she's very tired. Maybe... It's up to you, you're the boss.
Give me a persuasion check.
Natural 20.
It's up to you.
She looks at you. Vala's like,
Very tired. But she
Fine.
will definitely do them tomorrow.
yes, very well, we will see. Go on, off you go.
But we're going on the wagon tomorrow.
But, well,
They haven't
that's a problem
organised
for
that
tomorrow.
yet.
Vala's already left.
Yeah.
Vala is snuck off in the middle of this
God damn
conversation.
it. Okay, well, fine.
Can we
Arvo-
see Sentry?
Yeah, you see these guys,
Over.
like, these guys enter like a few minutes after you or
Hello.
or whatever.
Hello,
Hello.
troop. Has yet got a name? Going to get one though, aren't
Or
we?
party, or group.
Oh, you look sprightly.
I am very well, thank you, Lucius, my boy. Thank you all once again.
Strange to see you like this instead of like that.
I mean, I was able to hobble, at least before, but yes, it's good to have my leg back.
Fascinating.
Miss Rosalina, I appreciate your hospitality and letting us stay in the barn all this time. Now that my leg's fixed, I'd love to, help make it up for you. Is there anything I can be doing around here to help you out? She's just, well, yes, Hips, a nice strong dwarf like yourself. If you could chop some firewood for us, that would be most kind. And he's like, I will do that immediately. And when I get back, I'll help out in whatever way I can.
Can take Vala's job.
Sure, whatever.
Excellent.
I just want to make sure I pay back for the kindness.
Okay.
Well, let me come have table. And she clears the table and lays out like a nice kind of tablecloth and starts pulling out like some drinks. What can I get you? What drinks would everyone like?
Could we have a word, actually?
Of course.
Yes.
What can I help you with?
Well, ever since we got back to the town and seems to have acquired some money,
A lot of people have heard that you managed to get money out of old Neville.
well, it was...
That is no small feat, perhaps more impressive than you coming back from the chasm alive. That gnome does not like spending his money.
Well, we may have potentially given him something quite powerful, but it's fine, we need the money more.
Money is money.
A lot of people have been asking us for help.
I am sure they have.
Monetary help, that is. Now, we had a plan of maybe somehow fixing that. Or more to the point, Lucius had a plan of how to fix that.
Okay.
It was a group effort. It wasn't just me. But yes, we're thinking of establishing maybe a charity fund here.
Okay,
And
so...
I may have mentioned your name as the leader of the charity.
Oh, thank you so much
Because everybody loves
for a
you
wonderful new headache.
so much. I mean, you could probably hire somebody to do it for you, but it would be under your name.
I mean, how much are we talking? That changes things quite greatly.
I'm not sure. That's I don't have the
We
money.
hadn't quite decided. We hadn't quite decided yet.
I don't have the group fund.
I thought you were about to say that you didn't have the money.
Directly, otherwise you would have it all. And I've
Okay.
been told not to.
Well, I mean, if you tell me how much, I will do my best to make sure it gets into those who actually need it. Not just, somebody who wants to buy a new donkey or something like that. I can make sure they get what they need.
How much do you think would be a good starter?
I mean, in a town like this, it is difficult. It depends, you know. Something like, well, each family, if I give them 20 gold, that would last them through the long night. It would help them, you know, make repairs to their homes that they normally would take them months. Let me put it this way. Your average family, they perhaps earn 5 silver a week.
Would 200 gold be enough?
I think that would be very good. I think that would be a really nice amount that I would save. And if people have good uses for it, or if somebody has a big loss, you know, perhaps a farmer loses his crop because of something he can't control, that gives me a good pool to loan him some money. And I encourage them to try and repay the favor, help other people.
You're good at business, right?
I think so. I've managed, well, more than just this tavern in my past. Let's put it that way. I managed a big successful business.
Perhaps
before.
as a method of replenishing the pot, so to speak, you could also ask a favor of the people that you get a donation from.
Yes, I think that I would ask Maximilian and some of the others in town if they would then generate. Generally, if somebody comes in and does something very generous, like you are doing, other people will follow suit because they don't want to look, you know, like they're not a good guy. So, you know, if you give some money, Maximilian, maybe he gives some money, maybe Merrick, he gives some money, maybe other people in town give some money too.
And we hope that maybe in the future, if other mercenaries come through, not that we're mercenaries, but if other groups of travelers come through, maybe they could be encouraged to donate as well.
I can ask. I will always ask.
And you can
Say
get
that
this
we've set
fund
something up.
instead of individuals.
Yes, that sounds really nice. If you are willing to do that, that would be great for this town.
Do we think 200 gold is enough?
I think so.
I mean, if you're happy to take up the responsibility,
It will be some work, but it will be a good thing for the town, and I want to help the town. That's one of the reasons I came here.
I've got an idea. Another one. I mean, I don't want to speak out of turn, but if we go to Gold Throne, there's a lot of money there. What if we establish a secondary charity that could then feed, and then they, you know?
balance each other out.
Yes, one can fund each other and then send
I mean, we could do.
any patronage there could be facilitated here and whatnot. I'm sure there's some things here that could be useful for
Honestly,
Gold
there are many towns like Rosehall all over Sivona. Perhaps you maybe make your charity in Gold Throne one that helps smaller outlying towns,
Yes,
not
they
just
could all-
Rosehall.
They could all reach out.
Yes,
That'd be lovely, wouldn't it?
that would be great. That would help a lot. I mean, I'm lucky. I came to this town with a lot of gold and a lot of money, and I knew what to do with it. But a lot of people here, they have lived here their whole lives. All they know is farming, or but they have to deal with lots of bad things: monsters, bad weather, wild elves. A lot of people out here can lose everything in click of fingers. So something like this would be a great thing.
I mean, what's the safety net currently for these people?
Nothing. The generosity of their neighbors, really.
And how do we expect to refill this charity?
Like I said, perhaps people pass by, or we can do maybe events, host a bake sale, do like little clear out, sell old things.
There are things that could be done for tourists, should we say, that don't really cost monetary value, just provide shelter and whatnot. And donations.
If you've cleared out Chasm, if you think you got all of monsters in Chasm, we could maybe set that up as some sort of historical site. Get historian to come, pay money to explore it.
There's some good
We could
dwarves.
sell them supplies, that sort of thing.
Yes.
I'd be careful with that though. We did clear it out, but we didn't exactly check to see if there was anything else.
Oh, okay.
You might want to send an adventuring troop.
Well, I'll speak to Merrick and let him know. But yeah, maybe we can look at other things. A lot of visitors come to see the Rosewater Lake. But with the Rosehall Palace, a lot of people think it is haunted and people don't like to go near it. They see strange lights, they hear strange noises. A lot of people avoid it.
Sorry?
Okay.
The old ruin north of the city, along the White Breeze River. You maybe saw it on way into town. It spans across the river itself. Two keeps connected by like an archway. It's an old elven palace. Nobody really knows the history behind it. It was built long ago, but yeah, travelers on the road, they say they see strange lights in the windows. They hear strange moaning or screams.
Sounds spooky.
People don't like to go near the lake anymore because of it.
Well, is that something that we could investigate?
Yes, I love ghosts.
I mean, we don't know if it is ghost or monster or what, but people avoid it.
I
in
mean,
general.
it couldn't be worse than the chasm.
True.
But at the same time, I'd like to avoid it if possible.
I mean, it does. You don't have to go there. I'm just saying it is a local spot.
We're trying to earn
That's
a name
people.
for ourselves so that we can have
If you want to earn name, then clearing out the Rosehall probably good idea.
You haven't had anyone come up to you with a bulletin, have you?
I had a couple of people come by ask if I have bulletin board. I just told them to stick on wall, and she points to a wall where there is now 2 pieces of paper. One which reads, "Need name for hero band," giving us money, suggestions here, and then it's got like scrawled names. And then the other one is Pigs 4 number sale. Speak to Jim.
Everybody knows Jim.
And another one is Lucius's face, wanted, caramel.
Cows missing.
Not yet.
Not yet.
okay.
They have no proof.
It's only been a day since that
No one
happened.
saw it.
Well,
You're gonna get CSI Rosehall in a second, like, here, there's loads of code by these cow bodies. Looks like they were killed by a snowman.
Case closed.
Case closed.
ace
He
cold.
bloody's melted, isn't he? It's only the one snowman, actually.
Perfect crime.
Yeah.
It melted away.
In terms of names, you have the Dwalin Delvers.
I
Nice.
like that.
A little bit
Clumsy.
clumsy. It's a little
Mouthful.
bit. I mean, once we get to Gold Throne, that's going to mean nothing.
It's irrelevant, yeah.
Yeah.
You need a global name.
Okay.
An international brand.
The double D's would be better, wouldn't it?
The double D's.
Fantastic.
Twat.
I like how Ree's just like, yeah.
I'm down.
Down with Blazing Squad.
Down with Blazing Squad.
Squad. The rich folk. I'm trying to think of what dumb names these people would come up with.
Heard a whisper
Hero
in the...
band is just fine for now. Unnamed hero band.
Just makes me think of rock band or guitar hero.
One of them is 2 women, 1 elf, a robot, and a bird. That's their name.
Walk into a bar.
I like that one. I do like that one.
Not many names.
Okay. Well, hopefully...
But there is a bulletin. He's fulfilled what you asked him.
It's been...
Maybe by next week, the villagers of this village
The villagers
have
can come up with some
suggested
names.
some better ones on the bulletin of Reddit.
There you go. Nailed it. Or on Tweetor.
Yeah.
Hashtag roll on Sunday.
Village people.
Yep. So yeah, you're just left there.
Buddy, we need to speak to Yusef.
Do you want to... Are you going to give 200 gold to
I think we're in
Rosalina?
agreement 200?
Yeah.
Okay, mark off 200.
Charity.
This is not going to go sour. This is a good
Sour
idea.
like spilt milk.
Is there anything you do in the evening?
Oh,
Like for in the next sort of like 30, 40 minutes, is there anything you guys do?
I mean, I guess, are we getting Vala first before we talk to Yusuf?
You said that she should talk to her. You said Vala should talk to Yusuf. So she said that she would go and talk to her.
oh, okay.
Yeah. We'll leave that for now.
Okay.
And then wait until Yusuf storms through the door.
Like, what the fuck have you said?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like
Okay.
an angry mother.
About 45 minutes. You guys have probably eaten. You've probably had some food.
Chilling out.
Yeah,
Use
and I
of
think
storm
that...
through the door.
What's that?
Use of storm through
If you want rooms, by the way, for the night, you will have to pay for them again.
Yeah.
Take it out to charity.
No!
We need it.
That's charity.
You've given that as a
We're
thing.
desperate.
So
I guess
you can just
Aerois.
sleep on the floor, you said, can't you, Sentry? So you and Sentry have a single room.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then Nova and Ayla share a room, and then you have a single room. So that's 8, 16. That's 30 silver piece. That's 30 silver for all of you to have rooms. So that's 3 gold. And then with food and stuff like that, it's going to be another, let's say, 1 gold. So
Each
4 gold.
or total?
No, that's total. 4 gold
Oh,
total.
nice.
I'll
I
pay
can pay.
1 gold of that because I'm in my own room
Okay,
from my fund.
Could Ayla and I split
sure.
like 50-50?
But you
I'll
just
pay
note
for
it for
ours.
down, and then you can ask Katie for it when she gets back.
I'll pay for mine and mine.
You pay for now. Ayla's like, yeah, you pay for it for now. I'll pay you back.
Yeah, I trust that.
I'll pay for mine and Quill's.
Okay,
I'll
so
pay
it's 1
for
gold, 2 gold, 1 gold.
And it was 10 silver for the food.
No, that's included.
10.
It's just 4 gold total for food, drinks, and beds.
Okay.
You have so much money.
Because I picked up the pre-sundering money.
Oh, it was
She doesn't spend it.
I don't spend money.
Yeah, I've only got 20.
You guys are enjoying a lovely meal
You should actually
when
write down your loot then.
a figure enters the tavern, which causes a lot of people to look round and kind of look a little bit stunned. He's a large man, very broad-shouldered, loose tunic, but quite a nice-looking tunic with a little bit of trim, a ring on his finger, trimmed beard, dark hair kind of swept back, and he comes in smiling, and he looks around, and when he sees you, he's just like, "Ah, there you are. I was hoping that y'all would be in here this evening." Like, comes to the table and is like, "Let me introduce myself. My name is Brett Brookstone. I just wanted to come by and, well, I felt like I should come by and speak a little to y'all because I fear that you have been mistreated by some of my workers and that there have been some very vicious rumors about me that I wanted to personally come and dispel to you."
Oh, well, I mean, we can't say that we haven't heard some things.
I'm sure you have, my friend. I'm sure you have. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people who are, well, a little jealous that my business has taken off. I am particularly well off in terms of this town, and some people don't appreciate that. They don't appreciate the fact that me and my family have worked very hard for many long years.
Well, funny you should say that because we recently came into a lot of money ourselves, and we also had.
I've been hearing that you had quite the adventure down
Yes.
in the chasm, not far for a day out of town.
Yes.
What an exciting adventure!
And we came across a magical item. We sold that.
Hey, Chef!
But
Sounds fascinating.
what I'm trying to say is we no longer have that money.
No.
But what we did do with the money, excess money that we don't need for frivolous use, is put it to Rosalina as a charity. And what better way to convert the populace to your good side and good nature is to maybe donate to the charity.
Why, my sir, what a lovely idea. I reckon that... Now, you know what? I will put down 50 gold to this charity right now.
We put down 200.
Well, my sirs, aren't you the generous kind? I'm afraid that 50 is all I can spare at this time. I am
Sorry,
well off.
I spoke out of turn. Yes, I forget that it's quite a penniless village.
We are not as well off as 4
Is that offensive?
marvelous adventurers.
Felt like that was
Anyone else
offensive.
want to shine up?
Can I just pick up Lucius and just walk like very briskly
Walk
away? It's like
Brookstone pulls out a small gold pouch. He thumbs through it. He's like, yeah. He's like,
There you go.
Rosalina, I will leave this here. Please contribute this 50 gold to this charity that these fine folks have begun. And she's like, that is very kind of you, Brett. Thank you so much. I will do that. Thank you.
Could I do an insight check
Sure.
on her?
On her?
On her to see how she is actually acting around him. Like, I mean, insight 14.
14. You, from that, the impression you get is she's very clearly kind of feigning a sort of like polite, oh, thank you, that's very kind. She's suspicious. Okay. She's quite suspicious, but she's just conducting business as usual. Everybody else is a little bit on edge with him around. Well, and the other thing the other reason that I came by
You don't have to speak up. I've been carried away.
Oh, please. It's like, by all means, no, bring your friend in. This is an invite. I wish to invite all
There's
of
no
you.
time for playing. Pick me up later.
What I wanted was to invite all of y'all to dinner at my house, out, my family. We would be delighted to have you as guests. You have done great things for the town. I wish to help the town as best I can. Many of the town work for me. I try and offer employment. My wife is a fantastic cook. I hate for y'all to miss her cooking. My daughters and my sons would love to hear of your adventures in the chasm, telling your tales of daring. They would love to hear it, and I would be delighted to have you as guests in my home tomorrow evening, shall we say?
Well, I mean, we can stay another day, surely.
Yes.
That, I'm so gracious to hear that. That sounds marvelous.
What
Thank you
about
so much.
everybody else? What are their thoughts? Group vote.
Nova would be pretty oblivious, wouldn't she?
If you think that's how she would play, what's her wisdom, like 8?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty oblivious. It's like, kind of like, you can make an insight check if you want against this guy. Like, if you are suspicious of his intentions, you can make insight checks.
Oh.
1.
I mean, yeah, what a lovely man. What a kind gesture, Obviously, people are saying all these nasty things about him, and you can't ignore that. But he's being thoroughly polite and showing no signs. His body language isn't aggressive. He's all smiles. Seems
What
to
a
be...
lovely man. I'd love to come over for dinner.
Well, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
And who else would be there? Just your family?
It would be me, my family, and yourselves. We would just like to delight in your company.
Well, if you have us, that's going to be lovely.
Of course, I'd be delighted to. Is there anything that I should tell my wife? Anything about cooking for the evening? Any problems with any dietary requirements? I'm afraid we've never had a bird man in our village before. I'm not sure if...
Is there a garden? Do you have a garden?
we have... yes.
You probably have some worms.
We can source some worm. Would you like them marinated or stewed or just fresh out the ground?
Alive.
Alrighty, I will tell my wife that.
Sentry likes warm plates.
Yes, of course. Do you eat, Miss Sentry?
That's correct. Yeah, you'd only need to make 4 plates of food.
4?
Well, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, I see.
I don't.
5 other people. You are more than welcome to have food if you like, but we can leave you out if need be. But yeah. We cook for more than our fair share anyway. There'll be plenty to spare, I'm sure.
Do you have any dishes without beef?
Do you not eat beef, sir?
Obviously, no. Going on a
I'm sorry.
diet.
Is this? Oh, it's a diet. I was about to ask if it was an elven thing. I wasn't sure, but no, we can.
He's not keen on the stuff right now.
Is chicken all right?
That's fine, yes.
It won't be you.
Well, that's fine. Different creatures.
All right. Well, tomorrow night, shall we say, just after dark, say 6, 7?
6 or 7. Oh, we were planning on meeting with Dasa. She was having trouble with money, wasn't she?
Oh, yeah, there were people threatening her earlier.
Yes, I can't remember. What was it again?
They said it was something about money?
Something about money. In debt to someone, I think. So we'll have to tend to that first.
He just kind of... You see that there is a ever so slight twitch, but then the smile comes back. He's like, well, that sounds awful. I would be shocked if somebody was trying to wrestle money out of poor Dasa. I know that
someone in the town is...
No, they were workers from the mine. Nova's saying this completely innocently, by the way. No sarcasm.
Now, is that so? Well, I am going to have to speak to my workers that they are trying to hassle some good, hard-working folk in the town. What a terrible... Oh, now, you don't happen to have known their names now, miss.
No, I didn't realize you own the mines.
It's fine, miss, it's fine. A man can't... they are their own men. I can control everything they do. Some of them have come from troubled backgrounds. I will speak to them and make it clear that we do not tolerate that side of business in the Brookstone family. Thank you for letting me know.
Okay.
What a lovely gentleman.
You're right there, Rihanna. Would you like to do something?
I kind of want to like intimidate him just a little bit.
Okay.
Or flex.
How so?
I want to flex.
How so? How are you intimidating?
I would like to stand up and
Like
just tower
the full
over
hound.
him.
Okay. A huge,
Just huge. And
near
just be like,
7-foot guardian.
yeah. And just, yeah.
His eyes go a little bit wide, and he's a tall fellow. Like he's probably he's over 6. He's probably 6'2" himself, but you rise up
Yeah,
even
like I
taller
just
than
don't
him.
trust him. Like,
He kind of takes a step back. Is there something wrong?
I would hate for any ill will to come of this, but we will attend your dinner as you requested.
Oh, well, there will be no ill will, my friend. I assure you, just a local businessman inviting some good folks to a good dinner. I promise you no shenanigans for yourselves. I promise. He holds his hands up and it takes a definite defensive stance back, clearly kind of imposed by your thing. Just give me an intimidate check, just to see, just for my own benefit.
11.
Okay. Yeah, he just holds his hands out and he's just like, I promise you I mean no ill intent, just a humble offer of hospitality to some kind folks in town. I'm clearly overstaying my welcome. I've made my invitation clear. I will leave you to your evening.
Thank you very much for your donation. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. And then he gives like a good evening, Rosalina. Good evening, all. And then he heads out.
What a lovely man.
Really making waves in this town. Like really bringing people together.
Did I just do a bad?
Well, I mean, not quite. It was what I was aiming towards.
I just
but,
thought he was a really nice guy. He was inviting us for dinner.
that was Brett Brookstone.
Yes.
That was the guy that Dasa is in debt to. That's the guy that's controlling the workers who have been following us around, and also the guy that doesn't like wild elves. Well, at least his workers don't like wild elves.
Lots of people have been following us around in this village,
Oh, no, they have been following us around
asking for our money.
asking, well, no. Those are totally innocent requests. These were following us around to
Yes,
keep
I
an eye on
remember
us.
that group that looked at me funny a couple of days ago, before the chasm. Yes, they were a bit suspicious.
I mean, I look at you funny.
Yes, but you look at me in a kind of a way, and they look at me in a I want to beat you up kind of way.
Oh.
Which I get a lot, to be honest.
He has this town in a tight grip.
An
I
iron grip,
suppose.
if you will. You get
Yeah.
it? Iron.
That was a good. That was a good joke.
iron
Century.
grip.
So,
I know
Brookstone, bad.
Not necessarily bad. He, for all intents and purposes, might be a good person. He just donated 50 gold, which, I mean, for a man with a successful, thriving business, could have definitely done more. But 50 gold to a charity, that's a pretty good thing. And also, he promised to keep his workers in check, maybe.
So, you're saying that we should trust the people who've been following us around the village and asking us for money, but not trust the guy who's invited us for dinner and donated 50 gold to charity?
I think those are two separate things. I think we're just talking about Brookstone at the moment.
I just don't understand.
The people asking us for money are asking because they're poor. Something that Brookstone could have solved many years ago.
Okay.
And we're now invited to his house. Someone who apparently is chasing up debts with the town. If anything, he's bleeding the town rather than feeding it.
So I should be suspicious tomorrow.
I think you should go in as you.
Okay.
We'll do the rest.
Yes.
I
You'll do
really
that.
am bad at reading people.
Yeah.
Planets, stars, some trees, I'm fine with.
You can read.
People,
You can read trees,
kind of. I'm trying.
like the emotions of trees.
They network, you know.
So we'll go tomorrow. This has been interesting, but it's just fine. It'll be fine. We'll just be cautious.
Okay.
And I mean, if something goes wrong,
Can we have a code word?
sure.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay. And what if something goes wrong? If something,
Yeah.
and what could that be?
Pineapple?
What if they are serving pineapple?
I don't think they would around here.
But just in case, because I don't want to, say, oh, what a lovely pineapple that is, if there's a pineapple around. Wow, nice pineapple.
What is this conversation?
I just don't want the code word to be pineapple. I don't want anyone to just jump up and draw their swords and things.
How about-
when I'm just complimenting someone on their pineapple?
How about by Hesper's beard? Does Hesper have a beard? I don't know, but that could be something.
I mean, sometimes he does.
Say that.
By Hester's beard, look at the time. We have to get out of here.
Stop.
Stab. No, we're not going there to kill people.
Like the people who are like in the tavern can obviously hear this conversation, and they're just like there's like a shuffle as they all turn to their dinner and like they're talking about killing people, eat food.
Rosalina will know about him, right?
Oh, of course. I mean, she was.
Rosalina, yes, hang on 1 second, dear.
Thank you.
Do you think...
And she comes over, and you can see that she was just previously speaking to a young man and a young woman who are like in a quiet corner, kind of having a quiet talk to her. They look a bit flushed and a bit embarrassed, and she comes toddling over, typical Rosalina, happy, like, yes.
Now that man.
Now, did he cause you any trouble?
No, quite the opposite.
He invited us to dinner.
Oh, okay.
Yes, any thoughts?
Brookstone is very good at being charming and polite, and he only shows himself to do good things around the town. But everybody knows that his workers, and his sons in particular, can be quite the ruffians.
Does he know?
They don't. He claims not to, and normally, if anybody raises an issue with the field marshal or they raise it with Brett himself, he gives assurances to fix it, and normally the problems stop for some time. They always come back around again. His workers continue hassling. Again, if you're asking me, I've met many men like Brett Brookstone before. He's very controlling patriarch. He rules his family. He wants the best for his family, for his blood. Doesn't really care about anybody else. And he will do everything to make it appear that he is a good man, but no. Nothing happens in his company without him knowing.
I'm worried.
Why?
You told him how much money we gave to Rosalina.
Yes.
Well, don't worry. I can handle myself. Trust me.
Okay.
I lived in a much more dangerous place than Rosehall before all
Well,
of
like
this.
you say, he protects his image, doesn't he, in the town?
Exactly.
So stealing from a charity would be the worst thing for his image.
If anything, I imagine that Brett will play up his donation when speaking to other people in the town. And besides, if he sends his boys around here, I have ways of dealing with them.
Okay.
I have spells to deal with them.
Huh.
Knocking them out with some sleep spell and leaving them in the pigsty is normally what I do.
Right.
Well, thank you, Rosalina. I don't want to take up any more of your time.
Oh, thank you. You will have to excuse me. I will be gone for about an hour. I have to help a young couple with some of my services, so I will be gone for an hour. If you need anything, just the girl is just outside the back. You can grab her if you need her. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And then she smiles, and she goes over and she takes the young couple, one in each hand, and leads them upstairs.
Adult services. Not that naive.
No.
Now, Sentry, a moment ago, I don't know if you recall, but I am a little concerned. So I'm just saying this because I know that your time is short and whatnot. I don't want to bring it up. But I know the Matrix could be going a bit iffy. But do you remember picking me up and taking me away?
I do.
I don't think that's a custom that we do nowadays. So, do you remember doing that? Did you have control?
I had full control. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Okay.
Oh, don't worry.
I think it was
I
more
just-
going back to the conversation we had about not telling people how much money we have.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Look, it's rule number 3 in the travel guide, and I get out a little pamphlet.
Oh, so it is. Yeah, right.
Rule number 3:
That's
always
underlined
keep the
now.
money to
Yeah.
yourself.
That's quite a deep line you've
See,
pulled
I've
in.
learned a
Yeah.
lot being in your company.
Ah, good.
see earlier,
Relate to Pact.
see earlier today we had the crowds of people because they knew how much money we had, and I don't.
Wasn't that lovely?
Well, I guess if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have the charity, which is lovely and very nice. But also, I want to make sure that we're safe, and by keeping how much money we have secret. Can you keep that secret? then we can.
Locked away.
Thank you. Then we can all.
I'll say we only have 700.
You don't have to say anything
just
at
don't
all.
say anything.
You don't have to say anything at all, Lucius. Don't worry.
But what if they ask me? What do I can't lie.
Tell them it's rude.
Yeah. Say it's rude
rude-
to ask.
it's rude
Yeah,
to
you
ask.
don't know. Yeah.
won't-
Divert the question.
Where to?
Ask them another question.
Ask a question back. How much do you have?
What's your name?
What's your name?
Why do you want to know?
Yes. Oh,
It's a very intimidating things.
I don't know. We'll try it out. Lucius, how much money do you have?
What's your name?
Why do you want to know?
That works. It's a good start, at least. And
Yeah.
probably the first time anyone asked my name.
So, is there anything you would like to do this evening or tomorrow that you want to do before you attend this dinner? Or do you even want to attend the dinner? Did you just say that you wanted to?
I want to ask Quill about the hammer.
Oh, yeah.
hammer.
Sure. Now's the time to do it.
Quill, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Remember when we were in the chasm?
Yeah.
You found a hammer.
The blacksmith's hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I borrow it for a second?
I mean, I was thinking about giving it to Dasa.
You can give her the other stuff. It's just,
Right. I mean, it's a blacksmith's hammer.
but
She's a blacksmith.
here's the thing. It's magical, right?
Yeah.
I think I could use it.
Well, do you need to heat any metal?
I think I could use the magic in it.
Have you been talking to Vala?
No? Why?
No reason.
Actually, I've been meaning to talk to her because Tangong hasn't felt the same since I last saw her.
Really? Why is that? Just out of interest.
He just feels different.
He's not talking?
No, she's talking.
She?
He, she, it, one,
Oh, okay.
all, many.
Are you both at the table that we're at?
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
conversation is happening right in front of you.
You remember Vala said that she touched Tiangong and took its powers and it exploded?
Oh, really?
There's no secrets in this group. There's just
No,
no
we
secrets.
shouldn't have secrets.
No, I suppose not. You're right.
No, but I figured something had happened because
Vala
Tiangong
wants-
felt different.
Yes.
And, you know, logically speaking, Vala was the last person to touch him.
Now.
Her.
It hasn't lost any power, just so
It
you know.
felt
It
different.
felt different, but it didn't feel like it was weakened in any way.
Now, Vala says, and she'll probably speak to you about this because we told her to speak to you because you're very knowledgeable.
Oh, thank you.
That's quite all right. Anyway, I was saying that she's got innate powers, potentially sorcerer, but I can't quite pin what it is. And she felt like she could draw upon Tiangong. She heard a voice too, saying no, or something like that.
Very old, apparently, the voice.
Very, very old.
Fascinating. I need to talk to her more about this.
Yes, and maybe you could help her figure out what she possesses.
I'd be interested to see if she could draw more power from Tiangong. But here's the thing. I might be able to use the power in the hammer to power Tiangong. And then we can use that to help Vala.
As long as she doesn't explode again.
Yeah, we would have to do it away.
You do controlled experiments, right?
I
Yeah.
try.
Yes.
That's what the goggles are for.
And the rest of your body?
I'm pretty resistant to most things.
Okay.
Good to know.
The rest of us aren't, so we'll stay way clear of that.
So wait, you can give power to Tiangong,
I think so.
and it speaks to you.
Yes.
And what does it say?
Stuff.
Just anything.
Well, it doesn't really. It's more like the words are already there
Right.
in my head.
And you just feel it.
Yeah.
And when it asked you for the hammer, did it ask you for the hammer?
It suggested that I could make some kind of link between the two,
Okay.
and I'd like to see. Wouldn't you like to see?
I mean, it's
How did it ask for it? Was it like, oh, that looks lovely, could I?
It was in a vision,
Could I have a nibble on that?
and it said power. And then there was a flash from the hammer and a flash from Tiangong.
And how does it say power? Is it like, oh, power? Or was it like, power?
I mean, Tiangong's never really been menacing.
No?
No.
You trust it completely.
Yes. I can't describe it. It's a feeling. It doesn't feel evil. It feels scared.
Lucius, you seem to have a lot of insight into these things with, echoes and whatever else, and Vala could read some feelings from the sword. Why don't you try and touch it?
Would you like me to touch your sword? All that happens is I get a cacophony of visions and I probably fall backwards and dribble a bit. I'm not going to affect your Tiangong in any way.
Okay, give me a second. And I get my notebook out and get my pen ready, my quill ready. And then I'm like, okay,
Controlled environment.
yes, go ahead.
Sentry, if I fall over, catch me.
Middle of the town.
Arms out.
Controlled environment. Middle of the tavern.
You just touch your finger against it.
Gently.
Okay. Do you do anything, or are you just touching it?
Just going to touch it like I did. Echo.
Yep. And what, do you try and focus, or are you just going to try and clear your mind?
I guess I will clear my mind
Okay.
and focus on Tiangong.
Okay. Give me a charisma saving throw.
7 plus 5.
Okay.
12.
So you touch Tiangong, and you can't just put a finger against it. You actually grip the handle, and you focus, and yeah, you begin to feel that there is there's an old magic here. In fact, it feels less and less of magic and more like a sentience. You begin to hear this kind of cacophony of voices that just seems to speak various. You can't tell what they're saying, but there's all these different voices murmuring together. You see a vision of the dark above, space, like an endless night sky full of stars, and you get the sense of moving through them for a long time. And then you just hear the words. I'm trying to think what it would say.
Piss off, ghost.
Oh, it's gone.
You hear this. You hear this strange kind of voice that takes more of a masculine form when it speaks to you. Chromat. And then the impression of it goes away.
Well,
Did the voices, the cacophony of voices, sound similar to the cacophony from the Matrix of the...
No.
They're not similar feelings.
It sounded like the voices you heard from Tiangong sounded like they were really far away.
It's not the same technology. So to
No.
speak. Wow.
What did you see? What did you hear?
I saw above the sky as if I was a lot closer to the stars, but drifting through it.
You were in space.
Is that... Yes.
I've seen that.
You have?
Yes.
And then I heard a voice. It's got a husky man voice.
Interesting.
And it said the word chromat. It's very, very old. Much like Vala said, it felt really old. A
Interesting.
sentience there, yeah.
Chromat as in dragonborn or chromat as in you?
I just said the word chromat. I don't think I said it at me. I just heard it.
But you're a chromatic sorcerer, aren't you?
Oh, yes. Yes, I suppose it was at me then. Huh, fascinating. Who'd have thought? Wow.
So my question is, before we wrap up the episode, are you going to lend Nova the hammer? Because then that will determine the last thing we do before we cut.
sure.
I'm guessing you want to make it your pact weapon.
I don't know what.
You don't know what you want to do. Okay.
I don't know what the. I
Okay.
don't know what the thing was
Well,
with the hammer.
if you lend Nova the hammer
Yeah. Sure.
and you spend a short rest with it, you will learn that yes, you can basically what Tiangong. The process of it is that you can morph. You can have Tiangong absorb the properties of the weapon, of the magic weapon, but that means it would take on all of its properties. So Tiangong, you kind of get this vision in your head in that you can bond this hammer to Tiangong. Tiangong would shrink down to about dagger size, so it would do the same damage as the hammer. It would have the same, but it would gain the magical bonus and the spells per day. Basically, the hammer would become your weapon, but it would have the visual appearance of Tiangong, but as a short blade, like a dagger-sized version. So he would kind of like, the blade would go a bit wider, but it would become short and stocky. The crossguard would morph to look like a dagger. It would basically change its shape.
And then could I change that every long rest? So it's like a.
You basically, while it has the Gadwin's hammer absorbed, it basically takes that form. And then you can change it to become a different magical weapon if you find another one, or you can have it revert back to its mundane form and then the hammer basically becomes another item.
Does it become mundane?
The hammer doesn't become mundane. The hammer would vanish, basically. So Tiangong can absorb the magic item, become that magic item in everything but
and it can
appearance.
come back out again.
And then you can eject it.
Okay.
So it's basically a way of, you can use a different weapon, but still have it look like Tiangong, basically, is
And
the
then
way
would it
that it
take like a
works.
short rest, long rest, or is it just like an action to just be like,
If you want to expose it, it's in the player's handbook. I think it takes like an hour to it's a ritual you have to perform. It's under Pact of the Blade.
So it's a short rest then, I guess. Short rest length.
It's basically the Pact of the Blade. It says, I will read it out. You can transform one magic weapon into your Pact weapon by performing a special ritual while you hold the weapon. You perform the ritual over the course of an hour, which can be done during a short rest. You can then dismiss the weapon, shunting it into an extra dimensional space, and it appears whenever you create the Pact weapon after. So that's basically like you can make it disappear and reappear. But that's Tiangong, not the hammer. The only rule here is that rather than it looking like a hammer and making the hammer your Pact weapon, Tiangong absorbs the hammer's abilities and changes its appearance.
Okay.
But it would become a D4 damage rather than its current form.
yeah,
Because it has to keep the same hammer's damage type.
yeah.
But you would gain all the other benefits of the hammer, including the +1 to hit and damage, and the spells it can cast.
But she doesn't know that before she touches the weapon, though.
You spending an hour with it is you figuring out exactly what this process would be, and you know that it would change the way Tiangong looks, and it would take on the properties of this hammer, basically.
Cool.
And that's it. And that's where we're going to end, because it's 10-2, and we've got to finish up.
Nice.
Thanks for watching. We're going to read some donations. If we can get those up, Sam. Thank you.
Nice.
Thanks very much for watching it. I hope you like that. Very RP heavy episode.
Yeah.
Cool stuff. Some lore. Nightjar donated. Thank you very much. Lovely Nightjar. Frank the NPC donated a $500. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you.
Hey, hi, rolling friends. I've returned from the dark lands of working weekends. I love the new characters and just caught up today. So glad to be off VOD Squad. Keep up the good work, guys. And as always, I will pray for Trot's demise. Thanks. Olarenve donated. No message.
My demise.
Yeah. Thanks very much, Olarenve. Severaka donated. Swedish election day. Of course, I voted for my favourite party. What do you mean that's the wrong kind of party? Doesn't matter. Inspired by recent birthdays, I've rigged the entire thing. On an unrelated note, how do you guys feel about ruling Sweden? I mean, I don't think I'd be a very good ruler.
I think,
I'm down. I
I
love
think we got
Sweden.
voted for.
But,
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I think you have a really great quality.
There you go.
Yeah.
Quite democratic, isn't it?
I'll swing it over because I don't know how many there'll be. So, Rhiannon, take it away.
Davides has donated. Thank you, Davides. Much appreciated. Dragstar has donated again. Says hello again. Can't watch the live today as I have a new job. Woo!
Congrats.
So VOD Squad for me. Can I request that Lucius doesn't become the main suspect in the old McDonald murders, please? Thanks. Here's my money. Yeah. Cool. No worries.
Old McDonald.
And Luna Alchemist has donated and said, hey guys, long time lurker, but I want to wish my friend Eleanor happy 21st.
Happy birthday.
Woo! Fun times. Mark, just a heads up for Empire. A load of trained 12th century reenactors are going to Monster, so be prepared for a decent fight.
Wow.
Cool. Tom, over to you.
The last fight wasn't hard enough.
Kazo, that poor farmer's really going to need that money when he finds out his cows were incinerated.
Still the cows.
The tales of the Daddy's Boys mercenary group.
Oh,
will
now
slowly
that's a
spread
good
far and
idea.
wide.
The Daddy's Boys.
Daddy's
Boys.
Dark Day 41.
No.
Insert witty message here. I don't know. How about I just agree with what the person before me wrote?
No.
2 votes for Daddy's Boys.
Damn
Sounds
it.
like a stripper group.
Do you know what chat recommended?
What?
Broken Sky.
You twats.
Nice. Dancing on Fire.
No.
I hate not being able to watch live, but I had a podcast recording to do this morning. Awesome.
Yeah.
To do to the VOD Squad and see you next week. Well, you could listen to
Thanks,
our
see you next
podcast.
Kim.
Metamario has donated $25. Thank you very much. No message. The Game Guy has donated. Vala has strange bursts of purple enemy. Definitely great magic. Yep, case closed. You're welcome, guys. # Rollin' Sunday.
Next game, guy.
Ace of Thorns has donated. Paging Dr. Broken Sky. Dr. Broken Sky to the D&D room, please. Hugs and lols. God damn it, Steve has donated. Absolutely love the stream, and it was a nice time with my Lunchables. Then suddenly, a fucking wild quill invades my home. It's in a room right now. We're hoping it'll go out one of the windows. Wish
A
me
real
luck.
life quill.
Nice. Little birdie.
Oh, man.
Varys has donated saying, here's a name to put on the bullion board?
The bullion board.
Wheel on board.
Bulletin board. Yeah. Bullion board. The Crashed Crusaders.
Crash Crusaders.
Yes.
Trot.
Take it home.
Stonehenge Ray donated. Another fantastic session as always. No daddy bets from me this week due to bad traffic on the way back from work. But Azul Aura very kindly stepped in and took over, the best in my absence. Can't wait to see how this obviously not a trap dinner will go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
We'll see. It's fine.
Yoshi213 donated, I can't think of anything funny or witty to write this week. Take my money.
Okay.
Pretty good. And the last one, Azul Aura donated. Our regular daddy counter Stonehenge Ray was late this week, so I'm filling in. We had 3 daddies this week, and of the 28 people who took part, Tamini got it dead on with their guess of 3.
Boom.
Congratulations.
Just 3 daddies today.
Three
Just
daddies.
It's a brilliant answer.
Brilliant answer, Kim.
Oh,
Do that
yeah.
quick.
5.
Talking of
got 5
guessing things
minutes.
correctly.
Hold on, I've got to get it. I forgot.
Well, while Kim's doing that,
Okay.
don't forget.
I got it.
Go.
So it was, you had to figure out the order of who came in
The foot
in the
race.
races. The person who came in 4th was Drake, or D. The only way for there to be 2 runners between Cuddy and Drake is if they placed 1st and 4th in some order. Note that Boromir wasn't 2nd, as specified, so it means the only other place he could go is 3rd. That also means that Axel has to be 2nd instead. So that means the 2 possible cases are Cuddy 1st, Axel 2nd, Boromir 3rd, Drake 4th, or Drake 1st, Axel 2nd, Boromir 3rd, Cuddy 4th. Only with the ordering of case 3, so the first one I read out, is there is only 1 runner between Boromir and Cuddy, so the ordering must go to Cuddy, Axel, Boromir, Drake, meaning Drake goes 4th, has to clean out the latrines.
See, this is why I need Brilliant, because I could not have worked that stuff out. I'm terrible with those kind of puzzles
Yeah.
where it's like, here's some information, now work. I'm like, So that's why Brilliant is brilliant.
Yeah,
It
Bug
teaches
Squad,
you.
if you look in the links below, there will
It'll
be
be there
links
for you.
so you can look at that puzzle in more detail.
And that's it. Don't forget to check out our store.yogscast.com for some new merch. Don't forget to watch A Rogue's Gambit tomorrow, 6 p.m. BST,
Yep.
over on twitch.tv/HighRollersDND and twitch.tv/DND. It's not on the Yogscast channel. Don't forget that. Let people know.
Yeah.
Come and watch it. We'll see you then. Next week, no stream next week because me and Trot are LARPing. We'll be back the week after that to conclude the trap dinner. I mean, not a trap dinner.
Just gonna play trap music.
Yeah, just trap
Yeah.
music. We'll see you then. Take care.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye. 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 Bye.